All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, Friday. Every Friday we come together here. We, work off a long week, and so we come together, smoke a little bit of herb, and we talk about the news and all the other events and culture and World War III. And pretty much we sit here and discuss the decline of Western civilization as we know it. All right. Joined with me, as always, is my co-host Liberty Swine. How you doing today, man?
Fucking whooped, and it's getting hot already.
Right. All right. Fucking yeah, we're already in that 90s range. I think I don't know. I actually haven't checked, but
Yeah,
it's been
I
hot
was
as
on a
fuck.
roof for a while. It was hot as shit. At least
Right? Yeah.
114 on a roof today.
Right. Right. You're definitely feeling it, to say the least. But yeah, man, we got a pretty good amount of news going down this week. Of course, starting out today, we got the House voting to renew the FISA warrantless spying program on American citizens. Right? They claim it's a foreign invention or foreign intelligence surveillance, right? But they're really, as we know, those MAGA's terrorists. That's the real terrorists that you need to worry about, right? So, of course, this was being passed by, with of course under Speaker Mike Johnson, which is really calling into question a lot about Mike Johnson. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into that in a little bit. We also got the FBI just starting to show up randomly at Trump supporters' houses. We'll check out the video with that, get our thoughts on that. We also got feds stepping in and starting to bulldoze farms over out in Texas. Claiming it was something to do with a wildfire, but then again, they're not actually plowing the farms where the fires burned. They're plowing the farms that are still intact. So a lot of questions there. We also got sound investigations released in undercover, Project Veritas style undercover video of a supposed CIA contracting officer. And there's a two-part video. We'll be looking through some of that. We'll be talking about that, kind of getting our theories on all that, and what the implications might mean. I don't know, a whole bunch of questions on that. See, we also got pretty much court ruling, basically proving that the Ashley Biden diary is in fact legit. I mean, we already kind of knew it was legit, but basically now there's, actual documentation, seeing as a woman has now been sentenced to 1 month in prison for supposedly stealing Ashley Biden's diary. All right. So, of course, that the fact that there's a victim involved obviously means that it must belong to the victim. All right. The same thing it didn't Hunter Biden, like a year or so ago, like that, try suing for the release of his laptop. Basically, nothing, as far as I remember, nothing really came of it, but basically he pretty much just came out and said, like, hey, that's my laptop, in court. So nothing came of it. That's essentially the same thing that went on here with the Ashley Biden diary. See, we also got Elon Musk versus Brazil. Right. So again, Elon Musk, of course, the owner of the X app, formerly known as Twitter, basically he's getting into a bit of a beef with the judges out there in Brazil over, of course, reinstating accounts that they basically requested or basically kind of demanded be removed from the website. All right, we'll be talking about that. Obviously, big conversation on censorship there. We also got Biden coming back out and buying more votes, cancels another $7.4 billion in student loan debts. And, obviously a last ditch effort to try and get reelected, saving the main base that he has left, which is the young, idiotic college students. All right. See, we also got the Arizona Supreme Court ruling. I made a video about that ruling, pretty much the same day that it came out, which kind of breaking down the propaganda on what it actually means. And basically, we're going to be kind of discussing on what it's going to entail going forward in terms of, laws here in Arizona and obviously the political impact of such a ruling at such a terrible time. Right. We also got bird flu. Yeah. Everyone's got bird flu, right? Get ready for that. The fix is in, guys. Bird flu's back. We also got Dexter Reed, the George Floyd that wasn't. we're going to be talking about that, a bit of propaganda, blatant propaganda. Basically, they're trying to start another summer of love. They're trying to basically repeat the exact same thing last time. They completely unoriginal. I mean, they're just they just recycle, rinse, repeat the same old propaganda and tactics and stuff that they've always used. And we finally got the Vatican apparently pulling their heads out of their asses and finally coming out with a 20-some page statement, basically saying how the gender affirming surgeries and surrogacy are basically bad, and saying that they are a grave threat to human dignity. All right, we'll be talking about that. Yeah, that's about it. Definitely a whole lot of good, mixed stuff going on here. Definitely is election season. You could definitely feel it in the air, that's for sure. But go ahead and start out with this House voting to renew the FISA warrantless spy program. I'll go ahead and break down what you know about that one, man.
Obviously, FISA is supposed to be, like I said, a foreign intelligence gathering apparatus to keep you safe from terrorisms, of course. And like so many programs, it's turned on it. Our people rather. A weapon that we put together to fight foreign entities is turned on the populace, and our good old MAGA Keebler Elf speaker, who Trump just made an appearance with to talk about an election policy, went ahead and was the tie-breaking vote to vote for no warrants to spy on you. So, and they say, well, it's a revised one from the one that failed. Don't worry, we're only renewing it for 2 years rather than 5, as if that's any better.
All right.
It's it's just more weaponization of the government against you who fund it. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
basically what it is. And tyranny always starts this way, slow roll, and then all of a sudden, right?
Don't forget
And
though,
of course,
there were some concessions to go ahead and sweeten the pot to go ahead and get these members of Congress to go ahead and vote on this, and it's that this FISA Act does not include members of Congress specifically for whatever fucking reason. I do not know why, but specifically that's a cutout that's included in the renewing of the act. So there's that too.
that's where I was going to go with it next, man. And of course,
That's
just like even Obamacare, right? They exempt themselves from every policy that they stifle you with, man. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Instead of them being binded by the chains of the Constitution, they overwhelm you with regulation and fucking weaponization. And we got to call out our first comment there. Hi from Indiana, Dabu Grover. Hey from Arizona, man.
How's it going, man? This dude's a longtime viewer of the show. We appreciate you stopping by, man. He's been with us a couple of years now, pretty much since day one, for the most part. He's one of our first subscribers over there on Rumble. Yeah, definitely cool dude. Appreciate you stopping by, man. But yeah, obviously it's basically more government overreach. It's basically, like I said, there's a lot of good change happening with some of the people in Congress. There's a lot more push from the MAGA, Republicans over there in Congress. But again, as I remind you guys constantly, they're a small section of Congress. Other than basically being able to band together to pull their weight in one specific direction, still they're like fucking 10%, if that, of the Republican fucking party over there in Congress. So I mean, it really is kind of difficult to actually get anything that's not swampy and basically just a more tighter grip on your freedoms out of anything going on over there. So this really isn't so much of a surprise. But the whole 2-year thing, basically I got this clip right here, and actually I'll go ahead and keep the context up because it's actually a pretty good comment.
I want to comment on what you were saying right there, man. It's
Yeah.
you're saying it's even though Republicans supposedly hold the majority, it's only a 2 seat at this point, and so anything the Democrats support, it just takes a couple of rhinos to roll with them, and it's a wrap, man.
Right.
Basically, fucking moot,
Yep. And a lot of these rhinos, they're actually starting to be, show their true colors a lot more because of the fact that, you know, the chickens are actually coming home to roost. You know, as it's becoming more and more apparent that Donald Trump's going to become president. The sentiment among the people here in America and the sentiment among a lot of our leaders here in America, even our cultural leaders and stuff like that, is basically that, you know, we need to basically muzzle this government. You know, government fucking been, you know, out there baring their teeth way too much, and they're already basically starting to turn on the people that are supposedly their masters, which is supposed to be us, the people. And so yeah, I forgot where I was going with all that, but anyway, go and check out this video right here. So it says basically Trump shit can Mike Johnson, or Trump shit can Mike Johnson with him in tow. It's basically Trump talking about the FISA renewal.
Which one? Well, I'm not a big fan of FISA. I looked at it and I studied it, and I know it probably better than anybody. You know, they spied on my campaign. You do know that, right? And they did lots of other bad things. I'm not a big fan of FISA, but I told everybody, I said, do what you want. They put a lot of checks and balances on, and I guess it's down to 2 years now, so that it would come due in the early part of my administration on the basis that we live up to the polls, because all the polls, we just had another one come out, we're leading by a lot, but it comes out quickly. I said, you do what you want, but I'm not a big fan of FISA. I think it's terrible. Yeah, Bob?
All right. Right there, standing right behind him. Yeah, I think it was a bad call, you know, but anyway, still, you got some concessions put in there. It's only, you know, it's going to be only go for 2 years. It's going to, you know, end, you know, part way through my presidency. But yeah, you know, it's, again, this guy back here, fucking Mike Johnson. You know, we got him basically voted in because he's better than Kevin McCarthy, and I'd still probably concede that. I mean, Kevin McCarthy, he's basically a Democrat, just, you know, with an R next to his name. He's, you know, from California, so I'll still concede that Mike Johnson's probably at least a little bit better than Kevin McCarthy. But yeah, ultimately, this dude, he's a phony. He's a big old phony, right? And this clip right here really kind of says it all. All right, so they're basically asking Mike Johnson, let's see, the same U.S. intelligence community that openly meddled in the 2020 presidential election over Hunter Biden's laptop changed Speaker Mike Johnson's mind about supporting critical FISA reforms. Not good at all. So this is basically, you know, they're asking Mike Johnson about this FISA reform, and he basically said, yeah, you know, I got talked into it by the FBI. They can't, or the you know, the intelligence agencies. They basically came and sat me down, and now I changed my mind. I'm singing a different tune. Like, absolute fucking spineless piece of shit here. Check this out.
When I was a member of the judiciary, I saw all the abuses of the FBI, the terrible abuses over and over and over, the hundreds of thousands of abuses. And then when I became speaker, I went to the SCIF and got the confidential briefing from sort of the other perspective on that to understand the necessity of Section 702 of FISA and how important it is for national security. And it gave me a different perspective. So I encourage all the members to go to the classified briefing and hear all that and see it so they can evaluate the situation for themselves. And I think some opinions have changed both ways, but that's part of the process. You got to be fully informed.
Have you been?
Excuse me.
All right. And of course, shuffles off. But yeah, that's
Right.
what we're
He
dealing
got
with.
took into a room and told he was a bitch, and if you don't do what the fuck we want, you see us fucking with Trump, and that's, you know, the ex-president and, you know, possibly soon to be the obviously leading opposing political figure. And you see what we can do to him. Just think what the fuck we can do to you, son, and you're not a billionaire. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
That-
It's the Chuck Schumer speech that fucking, you know, they got 10 waves from Sunday getting at you.
Yep. As we, you know, that's a statement right there that you were just saying. You know, that's as we've been emphasizing on the last, you know, 2 years. This is exactly why it needs to be Donald Trump and nobody else. Donald Trump is literally the only choice in order to save our country at this point, and it's because of that exact reason right there. Basically, that's what these deep state intelligence communities do. They basically they take you behind closed doors, and they basically show you a picture that you didn't even know was fucking taken of you back in, you know, your college days or some shit like that. You know, a video back when you were drunk. I don't fucking know. Like I said, shit, maybe a video from fucking back when you were over on Epstein Island or some shit like that. You know,
Your kids at school. Fuck, who
Right.
knows?
all right. Fucking as Chuck Schumer says, the intelligence community has 9 ways of Sunday from getting at you. Right. And unless you're somebody with the power, the influence, the grassroots support that Donald Trump has, you're not going to win. Right? There's still even a possibility Donald Trump might not win. I mean, like I said, it's hanging in the balance right now. It really does come down to this, right? And at the same time, if they do succeed in basically getting one of the most popular presidents in American history, at least one of the most noteworthy presidents in American history, to say the least, if they succeed in basically getting him removed from the ballot or getting him arrested, charged, locked up, any of the 9 ways from Sunday they have of getting at him, that's going to do nothing but embolden the federal government. They're going to feel, and they're going to be right, that they are untouchable. There's nothing that they can't do. There's nothing that can stop them, right? And if Donald Trump does not win this election, if we did not get that man back in office, so that way he could drain the swamp, do whatever the fuck it is he has to do, right the ship, then yeah, I think that this is gonna end up going a lot worse than it should be,
And I fear that, man, because even if the dude gets in office, you see standing there with the dude that was the tie-breaking vote to reauthorize FISA, saying, I don't support this. You know what I'm saying? But that's supposed to be his boy. He just recently came out and said, I made a mistake with Lindsey Graham. Like, we've been fucking telling you that for fucking goddamn years at this point. You know what I'm saying? And, that lets you know that, regardless of or Trump Social, right? Exactly what it is. True Social being that big, that the dude still doesn't pay attention to what the fuck the actual people are telling him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so if, for those fools that are always, guys, this is Trumpers. I mean, dude, I could disagree with the dude on a lot of things. Again, face of a movement, the right candidate for the position at the current time, yada yada. You know what I mean? But I fear that point right there. The dude is fucking absolutely terrible with picking, his representatives. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And we've made the point, in the past too, that at least now MAGA is becoming a much more defined movement. Basically the corruption, the stuff that needs the changes that need to be made within government are becoming much more apparent. So you would think it'd be a lot more easier to actually pick some good people for your cabinet, right? The thing that I'm starting to worry about now is, like I say, this is getting down to the nitty gritty. Like, we're basically entering the boss level right now. We're fucking about to go fight motherfucking King Koopa and save the goddamn princess at this point. Like, we're in the final fucking tower, And the thing that I'm worried about right now is maybe we just think that a lot of these people that are actually MAGA and stuff like that are these people that are actually rhinos and that they're just becoming much more apparent. But maybe we're just getting to that higher upper echelon of shapeshifter. Basically the people that will sit there and rabble and they'll spout the rhetoric. Again, this is one of the big fears with Vivek Ramaswamy. Is, again, he's a complete political outsider. He's not somebody that we've literally been watching for the last several decades like Donald Trump. But basically, he's able to come out there. He's able to spout the rhetoric. He's basically able to articulate, what MAGA is in solid terms that anybody could really understand. And at the same time, you can't ever fucking take anybody for that shit. We could fucking come out there and say the same type of shit that Vivek Ramaswamy does, and basically we'd be the same type of thing, except Vivek Ramaswamy obviously much more wealthy and much more influence than regular old Joes and shit. But there's a lot of people that could go out there and do the same thing. And I think that's what I'm worried about that we're getting to right now. We're starting to basically get to the point where the deep, dark fucking people are starting to get revealed.
People that you didn't know existed until fucking recent times, but they've been involved in running the goddamn government and crafting legislation for years, man. Just like Mike Johnson. I mean, fuck, no one knew who that dude was until all of a sudden this guy's speaker now. What the fuck? This is the third most powerful dude in the country, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that guy come from? A Keeper little fella.
Yep. Now, fucking several months later, he's selling you guys back up the river, fucking warrantless, spying on American citizens, right? So
yeah, and if you hear like people talk like MTG saying that like basically we don't even know who this guy is anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been a conservative his entire career, gets in a position of power, and then absolutely does a 180, man.
Right.
Fuck, you know.
Right.
And again, you got to wonder about that fear tactic, about the 9 ways from Sunday, man. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did say that, other members should come down and check out the classified briefing and shit like that. Like, shit, it'd be nice if we could go down and check out some fucking classified briefings,
Yeah. And
Right?
I mean, you think of, outside of politics, but still in the realm of like money and power, like Elon, for instance, right? You get the same idea. The guy buys X, all this free speech, yada, yada. And then you start seeing slight crackdowns. And then you start doubting, is the dude really for free speech? Yeah. But then it actually comes out that he's being pressured by like every country in the fucking planet to either
Yeah.
censor or face millions of dollars, up to millions of dollars a day, but definitely a week in ongoing fines just for letting you speak.
Right. Yep. We've seen, in the past, like, letters sent from the UK to the executives at Rumble trying to get them to remove Russell Brand, back in the day. It's something that basically they do, for a while. And it really is, like I say, a worrying fusion of government and private corporation. It really is starting to show the I guess, like I said, the oligarch, like I said, the worrying fusion of government and private corporation.
Sorry, I didn't get to hear most of that, man. Fucking Butterfingers over here.
Yeah, I figured, but I was just basically pointing out that it basically just like I said, it points out the worrying fusion of government and corporate entities and stuff like that. I actually forgot the whole gist of it, but that was basically the main point.
The crafting of a true oligarchy, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what the attempt is. And it's not just here, it's across the globe. Like I said, they're putting pressure on them from around the world, as in Elon. And, it's not just Elon, though. It's our government. Again, we saw in Davos 2 years in a row, them telling you, you're going to have hate speech laws in America, so on and so forth. And everything that they, push or tell you that is an idea or a concept is already rolled out or in the process of being so.
Yep. And if you don't believe us, here's a little video just to show you. All right. So this is from End Wokeness, and it says exclusive. Yesterday, the FBI showed up the home of a Trump supporter in California. The agent said they needed to discuss a person that he met online. When the agent saw that he was filming the entire interaction, they immediately stopped talking and left to speak to, I believe it says the neighbors. Yeah, speak to the neighbors. But go ahead and check this out.
This is David from the Sacramento FBI.
What is it?
Looking to talk to David.
For what?
Hoping he can help us with someone he met online. So.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna record. Yeah. What is it? What is it concerning?
I'll tell you if you turn it off.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay, the person we're here to talk about, I can't say on camera.
Okay,
But it's
well
not
then,
about you.
Well,
okay, well then I can't.
you
I'm
can
not gonna-
cuff me or you can leave.
You're not gonna say it on camera.
Fucking nozzle.
All right. So, just real quick, some people have been pointing out that this guy's actually got a sheriff's badge on, so it doesn't look like he's part of the FBI. However, this Asian Glenn from Walking Dead looking motherfucker over here that they're about to pan to in a second. That guy, he's with the FBI. He pops his credentials out in a second.
You're refusing the interview?
No, thanks.
The fuck is that face?
All right, the white guy wanted to trip the fuck out.
No, thanks.
You know, he wanted this fucking pistol whip and all that.
All right. Fuck is that smug ass like fucking shit eating grin right there? That's what you define as a shit eating grin, right? Where you literally fucking just got fed shit and you have to eat it and just walk away. That's a
You
shit
have to
eating
eat
grin right there.
it.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know I don't know how I'd react. You know, I definitely would probably do it something like this guy. Just I'd probably be fucking nervous as shit. Like the fuck are these guys showing up at my house for? You know, and
I
I'd
wouldn't
probably
even
just
walk outside. You know what I'm saying? That's number
right.
one mistake, man. You know what I mean? And then two, like this fucks the whole concept of your sheriff is the most powerful law enforcement. They can arrest federal agents, yada yada. They're gonna follow orders and roll with these fucks and come to your house to check you for your social media posts and shit too. And we recently covered a video where we saw the FBI come to a woman's house for her posts here in America. And the FBI agent proceeded to tell her, "We do this all the time, every day." You know what I mean? So this isn't isolated incidents. And then, we have Ricky Vaughn, that went to prison for fucking memes, man.
Right. Yeah. It's like we said, we've been, everyone's really been predicting it's going to get a lot worse. Fucking as Bongino's been saying, as fucking Dinesh D'Souza put out a movie. Yep, the police state is here, and this is what it looks like. All right. If you've ever been wondering, fucking what it was like fucking during the Soviet show trials and shit like that, similar to this, except they were with fucking, big old hats and fucking and fur and all that shit. Essentially the same thing, That's yeah, it's like I said, if Donald Trump does not fucking win this goddamn election, like that's what it's gonna be, right? They're gonna be able to label fucking all these MAGA people as terrorists, and really, again, when it comes down to the courts, there's supposed to be a balance of powers here, and basically, as long as the majority of people are adhering to truth and liberty and justice, then generally the system should be able to take care of itself. There should be oversight generally. But as we see, basically the polarization and a lot of the stuff that has come to light that our federal government does that has been revealed since the coming of Donald Trump, it's really put a lot of fear into these people. A lot of fear into the people that would otherwise be honest and rule in a regular honest, unbiased fashion. But as we said, they are well aware of the fact that if Donald Trump doesn't win this election and they sided with Donald Trump, they're fucked. They're off to the fucking gulags, right? They're aware of that fucking reality that they're faced with, and so that's why we're really seeing a lot of these like I said, judges and people, attorney generals and all that type of stuff that are basically not necessarily the attorney generals and the judges, because a lot of the judge, I mean, maybe a Judge Cannon, but a lot of the people are doing it gleefully because they're gonna get a fucking attaboy and shit from the deep state. But a lot of like I said, a lot of the people, the Republican Party, again, the reason that a lot of these trials and stuff like that don't get pushed through on Democrats is because fucking Democrats work in goddamn solidarity. Like that, if you go after one Democrat, doesn't even matter if the Democrats are feuding with each other. They're all going to fucking come together to rescue one of their own. Not so much the same.
Circle the wagons.
Right. Definitely not the same fucking, over here on the Republican side. And so basically, like I said, a lot of those people that would otherwise, be able to bring back truth and justice and honor and that type of shit to the federal government, they're afraid. And like rightfully so. They see, they said the precipice, and they see that on one side is absolute tyranny, and on the other side is a possibility of a better life. And so, it's a dangerous times we're living in here in America.
Yeah, the blatant biases are in your face, man. You got Menendez still sitting in the Senate. Dude is under investigation for fucking bribery schemes. Found gold bars and dudes, house and jackets hidden in closets and whatnot. Pretty obvious that's what happened. And then you see with the Hunter Biden shit, the Garland refusing to turn over her investigation tapes. And for the same shit, Weisselberg from Trump's team, claiming, executive privilege, just went to prison for the same type of shit. You even had a judge pointed out and call the DOJ on the hypocrisy. Like, you guys got a lot of nerve, yada, yada. Not that that means shit. It's just words. Probably nothing will come of it. But the point is they're doing this shit blatantly in your face at this point. It's not hidden anymore. And anyone that's still going, your conspiracy is just fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Just complete morons. And not anyone that you want to pay attention to. I mean, fucking look, with your own eyes.
Right.
Like they're out. The Trump shit. They're like 11 fucking Trump associates are now been charged, and they're partying like 11. It's blatant fucking destruction of the justice system, man. You know what
No,
I
it's
mean?
not. No,
Right.
it's not, man. It's called a nudge. Okay.
Right. And the vast majority are charged with shit that had nothing to do with Trump for, shit, circumstances that were before Trump even ran for president in a lot of instances. And they're still associating it with him, of course, because it muddies his fucking name. But the charges that these guys are getting, you could already, right now, charges, like I said, with the DOJ with withholding info from, court processes and whatnot. But through this whole span, if you investigated all these politicians and the people that are involved in this shit, I'm sure you could charge them with fucking the exact same shit.
Yeah. Yep. If I can show me the man, I'll show you the crime. And when it comes to fucking to the people up in DC, you don't have to dig very deep to fucking find a crime. Those people are all fucking corrupt scumbags. And like I said, it's really coming to light. And I think a lot of the people that are trying to defend this system that has become apparently has become blatantly corrupt to the majority of the people. Like I said, those are the types of people that are probably the most dangerous. These Mike Johnsons and these fucking people that you just don't know about, but you're finding out about slowly.
But again, though, you got to give the benefit of the doubt here. Apparently, from his own, associates and coworkers, what have you, they all say that Mike Johnson was a staunch Republican, a staunch or conservative rather, up until this point, and now they're all in shock, like what the fuck happened. So there's a good possibility, that again he was taken back, maybe by the intelligence apparatus or just other fucking politicians, Democrats. Like, dude, we'll fucking destroy you, son, because they don't, they're disgusting, cheating fucks, and that's the only way that they can win is through dirty deeds and fucking blatant cheating, dude.
Yeah. The way that they see it is, like I say, it's that fucking they're living the fucking dichotomy right now, death or glory. It's fucking basically, are you going to risk the chance of death for a possibility of great fucking glory? By basically if you support Donald Trump and then he comes through and ends up winning and basically ends up changing things and getting rid of all the corruption and swamp, you're going to be treated as a hero. Or again, if he loses, and basically you sided with Donald Trump, you're going to be treated as a criminal. And like I said, it's that fucking dichotomy. And I think that's basically what the intelligence apparatus went ahead and sat fucking Mike Johnson down and basically explained to him that, man, that's what it is. Even
that only goes so far. Like, I believe Trump is a threat, to like the war machine or the economic fucking plotting and scheming, laundromats and whatnot. But one dude, obviously not Superman, can't change everything, and shit is too deep, and then you've got Biden signing executive orders that's, weaving webs to make it harder and harder to get rid of bureaucrats and fucking, you know what I mean? And so, I'm sure when you're on the inside track, it's one thing, but when you get to a point of where Mike Johnson's at, it's a whole nother level. And I'm sure that they open another chapter to you, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too deep. This is where it really is, dude. This is where the tentacles run. And you see with generals and chiefs of staff, they've come out and admitted in books, on news cycles, whatever, they blatantly lied to Trump, hid information from him, key information as the fucking commander in chief. And, no charges. You know what I mean? They've all been able to get higher up jobs or retire into the sunset with taxpayer funded fucking, retirements and fat fucking speaking gigs.
And I think that's what they're afraid of. I think they're afraid of losing that, because that's the one thing that Trump did bring to the realm of politics is a bit of transparency when it comes to how money is transferred through DC, right? Because basically, fucking back in the previous days, in the older days, fucking with the Obama and fucking Bush, fucking Al Gore and all those fucking other people, when it come to the debates and stuff like that, there's topics that were always taboo. They're not going to talk about who your fucking donors are, and basically who you're getting fucking funneled money from, because of the fact that they're getting money funneled from somebody else, or possibly even the same fucking person. But basically, when Trump came in as an outsider, he was able to fucking drop all those bombshells and shit, like, oh yeah, you're lucky I'm not the president. Yeah, because he'd be in jail. He'd be able to fucking come out and actually reveal those fucking truth bombs and shit, because basically they can't sling it back to him. And that's how basically a lot of these corruptocrats stay in power, and that's why it's always the same type of fucking people. It's always the same people from the same background, usually from the same fucking Ivy League schools, the same, we're part of the same organizations and all that type of stuff. And it's basically
your
because
skulls and boneses and whatnot.
right. And it's because they have all that dirt on each other. It's basically, everybody fucking took a stab at the person. So basically everybody's guilty. So that way everybody fucking, sticks together as a solid unit. It's that type thing. They all fucking took a stab at the fucking Lady Liberty, and basically they all have blood on their hands. So none of them are going to actually talk about it. And it takes a fucking outsider like Donald Trump to come in and, this is what you guys are doing. I know this is what you guys are doing because I used to be one of the fucking guys that paid you guys to do this shit,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Trump brings to the table. And that's what their biggest fear is truth.
Yeah. And back when Democrats were, at least trying to put on a show of being the party of the people. I mean, you could go back and see the archives of Hillary Clinton saying, Trump would be a good president. And then not to mention just about every policy that the man talks about, every Democrat was saying fucking just, 10, 12 years ago. You know what I mean? And, they're the ones that, decided to roll with corruption and totally change and, let's destroy America while saying the other side's destroying America. Hey, it's fucking, I just got done reading an article before we came on, Tim Kaine. It was Hillary Clinton's running mate, dude, for the hurrah, fucking lunatic. You know what I mean? He's
Right.
comparing like concerned parents at fucking parent-teacher conferences to January 6 rioters, and this is all that they want to do is tear us down and tear us apart. Like, you are the party of fucking division. Racial and identity politics are the fucking epitome of division, man.
All right. Do you think that this, basically what's going on with the Democrat Party, how they went from that to basically what they're at now, where they're basically openly, basically advocating for, communism and basically, clear fucking corruption of the government systems and shit like that. Do you think that basically, Trump was the wrench that was thrown in the gears, and basically this is their last ditch effort to try and clamp down total control, which has been their plan all along? Or do you think that basically Trump coming in and sprinkling a little bit of fucking fairy dust truth on everybody basically just fucking broke everyone's brains, and everybody's going in full fucking retard mode right now, and basically just that's why everything they say is black, it's fucking retarded, and basically they're just Trump derangement syndrome, like, but to the fucking fullest, where it's probably fucking clinical at this point.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a combination, man, and that, and like you said, at one point, like he pointed out himself, 2016, I funded both sides. I funded you, you know what I mean? And he basically an insider. He was in on some of them, parties too. But obviously he wasn't into the debauchery because they've had to manufacture shit to throw at him. But
Right.
at that same token, he saw them being debaucherous. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so there's that as well. Like, not only is this guy, a political outsider, not only is he pushing against, he's popular, but he's got dirt on us, man.
Yep.
But it's in case no one noticed, not only is he not the fascist they try to make him out to be, ludicrous shit, but mild reformer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't come in and do anything fucking crazy, even though that they've tried to convince you that securing a border and, not firing up the war machine is fucking extremesies. It's some of the most moderate times that we've had in fucking decades.
Right. And again, especially when you look back just 20 fucking years, these are the exact same fucking, types of policy positions that the Democrats were fucking talking about,
Yeah, and as far as like them thinking it's the last hurrah as far as locking it down, I think that they believed they did have it locked down. And that's why the Trump shit, that's one of the reasons it broke their brain, because it was just shock and awe. Like,
Right.
I mean, everywhere. I mean, all the way up until they had to announce, like, Hillary won. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
Right.
what you heard forever. You remember, her archived post, happy birthday to this fucking ugly little future president. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah. They're probably all fucking that night, like, how the fuck could we let this happen? I'm sure several people have been fucking sent to the bottom of the sea for, Donald Trump being allowed to, be elected president.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I
definitely some
believe that
cement shoes.
yeah, but I believe they completely, thought that they had not only that in the bag, but the whole situation. Like,
Yeah.
we can't go back from Barack Hussein's. You know what I mean? But little did they know, a huge portion of the people that voted for that day didn't like him. They voted for him because they didn't want to be racist. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They wanted to be part of histories
Right.
and,
First black president.
yeah, hopes and changes. But then, once he was out of the picture and it was two white guys, you go for the fucking bull, man, every time.
Right.
And I've even recently had, a staunch Trump hater admit to me that there's not very many people that could withstand the storm that this dude has. For
Right.
real. You like him, hate him, you
Shit.
know what I
There
mean?
isn't
Love the dude,
anybody.
whatever. Right. And it's not just economics. I mean, they have fucked with his kids. I mean, they've dug up dirt on him to try to split up him and his fucking wife. Obviously, the Stormy Daniels bullshit. I mean, on and on. You know what I mean? And then used anything they can to try to weaponize against him. And a normal dude would have already fucking folded.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not just speaking economically.
Yeah. Yep. And that, like I said, a lot of the stuff that, Trump will even say it too, is really the only thing that keeps him going. The only reason that he hasn't, quit is because of all of us fucking folks, It's because of all of us people and shit. That's it. Basically, we're the wind beneath his wings that keeps him going. And oftentimes we are the funds in his bank account that keeps his legal expenses afloat as well. And again, we've said multiple times, I'm sure there's not a single fucking MAGA hat wearing, fucking someone that buys, some Trump merch, somebody that's donated to his campaign that gives two flying fucks if it's going toward his legal bills and not his campaign. Not a single fucking one, dude. Matter of fact, I'm sure a lot of people would be like, matter of fact, if it's going toward his legal bills, I'll pay twice. Like that's
And he's killing it. The dude just raised like $65 million in like 10 or
right.
11 days.
Right. Yeah. That's another fucking thing too. Is I forgot to include in the list. Is he fucking raised what was it, like $50 million the day after the Democrats were basically bragging about Joe Biden. He made
Yeah,
history
I
as the
think it was
largest
closer to a week.
fundraiser ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Largest
it's like
fundraisers in presidential history, 25 million.
had to roll out 3 fucking presidents and fucking Lizzo to get that.
Right.
Which, why the fuck you'd pay $250,000 to watch Lizzo's nasty big ass all over the joint? But yeah, Trump fucking more than doubled it, and in one night, and
Right.
then went on just to hold like a regular ass little fucking fundraiser, and boom, another 15 million. Not
Yep.
even a live gala or nothing. Just
Yep.
wow.
And then, dude, like I said, the dude is he's probably going to go down in history as one of America's most well-known presidents of all time. Shit right there next to GW. I'd say fucking second place to GW. Shit. Depending,
Victor's right
yeah,
history, man.
but then again, I mean, yeah, that too. But I mean, then again, I mean, shit, with how fucking uneducated our kids are right now, he'd probably be above GW. Most of them probably don't know much about old fucking GW except he's on a dollar bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so definitely grassroots support for Donald Trump like nobody before. And again, corruption coming out like never before either. It's definitely some real trying times here in the old US of A.
Yeah, speaking on GW, if anyone out there like to get to know our original president's mind, the George Washington Society page on Facebook every day puts out new quotes and paintings, whatnot, and it's pretty good. And a lot of it's personal letters and shit. So you really get to know who the dude was, man.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. But just touch real quick on just another part of federal overreach with the federal Fed starting to bulldoze farms over in Texas, right? So I guess there is a big wildfire that took place up near the Panhandle around Texas, and basically, of course, the federal government, the environmentalists and shit like that in the federal government, basically deemed that the land that was burned had to be bulldozed, right? So they basically did that, and then they kept on going and just started bulldozing fucking farms that were not I am putting it comically, but they did do it judiciously, right? They did it basically, like I said, that it was is meant to go after the burned land. And they basically just went, oh, we're going to take that fucking farm too, that farm too, that farm too. Oh, he's got a MAGA flag. We're definitely taking that farm too. Like, and it really is, it goes to show the level of government overreach. And again, we're seeing a lot of farmer protests over across the pond over there in Europe, and really in Sri Lanka, all over the damn place, right? And it's really because of a lot of regulations and stuff like this. And so again, just the fact that they're trying to basically poke the bear, they're trying to get the conservative Americans to basically go out and do some stupid shit, so that way they could say, see, we told you all along, those MAGA J6, they're right, extremists and shit, And so again, them coming through and just starting to bulldoze people's farms, that's another one of those, I guess you could pretty much call them intolerable acts, so to speak, And it's just another way of trying to poke the bear. Just trying to fucking get you aggravated, trying to get you going.
I don't know if you had the video or not, but yeah, I mean, this is we had the video of a rancher going around, and he's the one putting out the warning. He was actually showing some of the property that was bulldozed and stuff, saying that he's a cattle farmer, and basically, they're coming after the meat, man. Just like they keep trying to tell you, it's not a conspiracy. It's, again, anything the WEF says, dude, is already being rolled out or in the process, and that's all part of the Greens New Deals, is because cow farts and whatnot. And they got to reduce your meat consumption. One of the stated reasons for fucking the WEF back in a digital currency is so they can reduce your ability to purchase meat. And also by doing that, calling cows and whatnot, it's going to make the price exorbitant. So only those people, which I don't want to call the elites, I call, it's more like the predator class, they'll still eat their filet mignon while you're eating the fucking bug flour tortillas and whatnot.
Right. I guess
real quick, I don't care if they want to sue me or whatever, but no one ever get white boy, tortillas again. Mission. They're secretly fucking putting the bug flour in there. There's a little snap code on the back. Get it with your phone. It'll tell you all about it. They just not putting it on the package.
It's pretty crazy shit. But I guess we could go ahead and roll bird flu into the whole into this whole little segment too, right? So basically, that's another sort of a aggravating propaganda tactic that they're trying to use, and it's basically they're trying to tell you, oh, you're not allowed to eat fucking eggs. They have to be cooked at a certain temperature. You can't have them over easy. You can't have them sunny side up anymore. Definitely no steaks unless you have them well done and fucking black as shit. It's again, it's just more controls and regulations, and it's more fear mongering, especially when it comes to things like your health and airborne fucking diseases or foodborne diseases and shit like that. That always gets people afraid, right? Always gets people afraid. Pandemics, they're not an uncommon thing, but they are definitely they raise a lot of fear. There's recalls on different types of foods and shit like that all the time. But when it comes to, shit like bird flu, it always gets people scared. They've been doing this. They've been using the same fucking tactic for years. And really, as we're we say all the time, it's fucking basically the election variant. There's always some sort of fucking election variant that seems to be coming out now, just before every election here in America, and this definitely appears to be one of them. All right, but yeah, bird flu, it's back. Be afraid.
Right. H1N1, dude, coming to get you.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, it's election season, dude. It's that strain again, right? And again, they got to reduce your meat fucking consumption, trying to cut you off. And just to see how deep the shit goes as far as the WEF's concerned, you could see these fucking clips all over the Twitter spheres. I've posted them myself, where they're blatantly talking about the ability to alter genes to make you meat intolerant. You know what I mean? That basically, like, there's a certain tick that if it bites you and it gives you this virus, it'll make you fucking meat intolerant, to where you can't stomach it and shit. And they're basically talking about splicing fucking human genes to make that a built-in feature, so you'll fucking ease back. So you'll be a sickly, weak little fucking vegetarian. And before we get the motherfuckers in here going, you can gain muscle as a vegetarian's, right, with 1,700 different chemicals and supplements.
Right.
Fucking do
All
it.
derived from meat.
Right.
It's just
I just had a
extremely
fucking
processed.
Yeah, I just had a shit ton of seafood yesterday. Day before, a big fat steak. Fuck you.
Right. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, but yeah, fucking the whole public health emergency, right? That's basically become their gold standard for we're gonna overreach. We're definitely gonna overstep our bounds. We're definitely gonna fucking vie for more power, and we're gonna try and normalize it, right? Because there's a fucking public health emergency. Right? They remember just last year they tried to do that in New Mexico because people got shot, and they said that there was a public health emergency because apparently bullets are just flying through the air in New Mexico, and we need to take everybody's guns. They really tried that. That was an actual fucking thing that they tried to do. Of course, a lot of the people there in New Mexico basically went out and held a protest where they were all open carrying, and of course the sheriff out there basically said that no, I'm not going to enforce that law. That is fucking ridiculous. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially how it went down, and that's basically, like I said, their new gold standard when it comes to overreaching. And it's not like they need to do it permanently, especially as we see when it comes to elections. The closer you get to the actual election, the more and more delicate these sort of lawfare tactics become, right? I guess not delicate. The more delicate the state of the election becomes, and basically the more damaging these lawfare tactics become, right? It's basically, again, if appeals, the appeals take time, right? Court rulings take time. And basically, if you do this, some sort of public health emergency, fucking 2 days before the election, everybody be afraid. You pulled it off. You apparently pulled it off. So that's a big, again, it's become their gold standard when it comes to setting in the fix, to overstepping their bounds and basically doing whatever the fuck they want without having to worry about the consequences.
Yeah, time and time again. You know what I mean? Like the New Mexico governor you just mentioned. I don't even remember the sea hag's name. It's not important.
Right.
The court smacked her down, basically told her you're fucking, you're powerless. But she came out and said, we're going to try different avenues and shit. Just like Biden got smacked down by the Supreme Court of the United States with the whole fucking buying votes with your tax dollars to forgive loans you didn't take. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, he's just going about it different avenues. He's come out and bragged about it. You know what I mean? Like we're searching other areas we can pull these funds from, and this is after, again, the Supreme Court said you cannot do that. You can't make people pay other people's loans back. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Watch, we're doing it."
Right. Well, watch me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all about lawfare.
Done it like 3 more
shit.
times since that ruling.
They're all about lawfare, especially against you. But if it's against them, it's a blatant don't give a fuck because Democrats don't fucking catch charges, man.
Right.
And if
They
they
are
do, they
above
just
the law.
continue to sit on committees in the fucking Senate. Like, doesn't matter.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's like I say, that's that secret, brotherhood that they have, It's that Illuminati level that they're all operating within.
Yeah, even with the Hunter Biden shit, I'm sure it'll end up being a show. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get charges dismissed and whatnot. Like, and the judges, said no, it's going to trial, but that doesn't mean anything's going to happen.
All
I
right.
mean, she could come out and say that was unconstitutional what they did to you. But
Right.
it's the case is being held in a state with some of the strictest gun laws in the country. Like, what the fuck are you even talking, right?
Right.
I mean,
Shit. Yeah. Yep. And again, a lot of this stuff is just setting legal precedent as well too. And so that's again, I guess that this system was designed to where it can't function like this, and if it tries to function like this, it's going to collapse based off of the fact that you're gonna have shit that fucking overrules each other. Basically shit that is contradictory to each other, and again, it's going to become fucking clown world, and we see that that's basically what we've become right now. And it's really because again, the system that this country was designed to be is made so that way these types of government fucking overreach and basically government sidestepping the court system, sidestepping the will of the people, it can't sustain. It can't be sustained that way. I guess unless the people become complacent, unless the people just say, well, I guess we live under a tyranny now. Unless that happens, and I think they understand that too. And that's the whole reason why they're trying to turn the frogs gay, because they want you to lose that fucking fight. They want you to lose that sense of individuality, that sense of freedom. They want you to lose that, again, that just willingness to fight for yourself, for your life, for your family, for your country,
weak, sick, vegan, except for bugs, fucking, addicted, overly vaccinated, androgynous, fucking, pudding cups is what they really want. You know what I mean? Tax chattel. Just just enough strength and intelligence to pay taxes.
All right. Yep, just enough to pay taxes and not pay attention when we're sending your money over to go fucking fight foreign wars that we know our people are now too fucking pussy to be able to go and fight ourselves. Yep.
So we'll bring in a bunch of illegals and tell them they can get citizenship by joining the militaries, right? And possibly cutting their dicks off. But, the government is absolutely good for nothing. We try to explain this all the time. The best I hope for out of a Trump fucking return is mass fucking firings. You know what I'm saying? That's like the greatest hope, man. Because, the government at this point has, showed you time and time again that all they can do is create debt. You know what I'm saying? Restrictions and keep a monopoly on violence. And that's their sole purpose at this point.
All right. That's why I say, I think the best thing that Trump could do is get in there and do mass revelations. Get in there and fucking reveal the truth, like we said, earlier. Fucking, that's basically what they're afraid of. That's what they don't fucking want to happen. That's basically, the whole fucking saying, like, oh, the whole reason they don't want Trump is because basically he got into office and he started breaking all their toys.
I was just going to say that he's got to wait till like the last 6 months and break all the toys on the way out.
Yeah,
everything's declassified.
Right.
You're declassified. You're declassified.
Yeah. You're going on 4chan and you're going to be on 4chan and this is already on 4chan and have at it. Yep.
Matter of fact, I'm pardoning Julian Assange and all this is going to WikiLeaks too.
Right. Yep.
We just sent over 1 million terabytes.
Yeah, I think it would probably send a lot of fucking I think it's a lot of chaos would ensue from something like that. But ultimately, I think that would be the best fucking medicine for this country.
Instead of 51, you'd have 151 intelligence fucking agents signing a piece of paper saying it has all the calling cards of Russians' disinformations.
Right.
And you'd
Yep.
have fucking Goldman and Shiffy Schiff all up around the state talking about fucking, how do we know that this didn't fall into hands and like Rudy Giuliani didn't AI this and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the
Yeah.
stupidest claims of all time, as they say. Here's the conspiracies.
Right.
Right.
That's the fucking buzzword of the I guess of the century. Conspiracy. Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. It's really almost kind of funny to see fucking I mean not really funny in the fact that we're living it, but just in the comical nature of the fact that we spent all this time fucking fighting the commies over there in the Soviet Union, and basically now the fucking Russia, they have fucking more national pride than fucking America ever fucking probably did. Like those people that, dude, their fucking numbers since the start of the Ukraine war, their military numbers have increased. Like, the more people they lose, the more people fucking join in. Like it's again, it's just to see that it seems like the flip flop. Basically America's become the fucking the former I guess the rebirth of the former Soviet fucking Union.
The worst part about it is like as far as shells and bomb casings and shit, they're cranking them out 5-1 compared to us at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And basically, I forgot which senator was just doing an interview, and basically he was saying that the United States can't even produce what Ukraine needs to hold Russia. I mean, they're basically, he was saying, I think it was JD Vance saying it, and he was saying like basically, they're beat regardless, but just to like hold them, still, we can't produce enough shit at this moment. And even if we could, it's not like we could send 100% of our arms to fucking Ukraine. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then not to mention, I mean, a lot of the, the newer type equipment and stuff that we have, fucking guided missiles and shit, fucking unmanned drones and shit like that. All that stuff takes what? Microchips. And where do those fucking come from? China. And who is China on the side of in this conflict? Definitely not America. Right. Yeah. China and Russia basically fucking forming an alliance. Like, how are we going to fucking get our bombs made if you can't get them made in China? Obviously, just kidding. I don't think our bombs are made in fucking China. But the a lot of the microchips and shit like that that we need to in order to get them made, in order for us to be able to make them, are made in China. So there's that.
Yeah, but Biden signed tiny like the chip acts.
Right. I mean, he spent a whole bunch of money, and now he's gonna fucking. I don't even know. It's really the whole thing is fucking minerals. We need those rare earth minerals.
Yeah, spending billions of your dollars, man, for shit that's they're saying 10 years away. If you know what I mean, 6 like minimum. And just recently gave some billions of dollars to some green company that's actually ran by the ex I believe CFO of Solyndra, which was a green company that fucking Barack poured money into that folded right afterwards. You know what I mean? And all the money was gone.
Right. It's funny. It's basically the economics of the Biden administration, especially when it comes to that CHIPS Act, is you could basically kind of point it, make it as like we sold a whole bunch of fucking this mineral rich land to China, and that way we could make fucking chip manufacturing fucking facilities in Arizona. Like, yep, that's the basically we sold our farmland so we could build food processing plants. Yeah.
Right.
Where the fuck are we gonna get the food from then? Like,
fucking bug meal.
Right.
Yeah, it's been, dude. That's funny you just said that, because again, I was just looking at this article, man, where they're talking about Democrats saying we got to give all these illegals fucking work permits because with cheap immigrant labor that'll drive the price of food down and deal with the scarcity issue. Like, all those people got to eat too. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would actually fucking threaten the food supply. You fucking morons.
Yeah. It's the beauty of it. They'll eat the bugs. and then they can normalize it to the rest of society, and then everybody will eat the bugs.
Right.
Yep. Fucking
The Mexican,
normalization
the
process.
Mexican that shit on your grapes when they were out there picking, he ate bugs, man. So technically, you were eating bugs. So it's not
Right.
that bad. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Everybody eats a little bit of bugs here and there. You know, you eat about 10 million spiders within your lifetime.
10 million.
Right. I don't think those are actual figures. Like, where are you getting that? I'm pretty sure I don't eat that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Why do I always wake up hungry?
No hairs in my mouth.
Yeah. But so let's go ahead and get on over to this. We'll just kind of skim through real quick, just kind of get the gist of the points here for this sound investigations undercover video of a CIA contract officer. Right. Just real quick. What's your initial? You've seen the videos? Have you seen them yet?
Yeah.
What's your initial reaction?
Well, I mean, the initial reaction is the same fucking basically as far as all these videos go. You know what I mean? It's like, in a half inebriated fucking, dude trying to show off or some shit, right? But at the same time, man, it's not surprising either. I mean, a lot of the shit he's saying is shit that a lot of us have been saying for years now. So,
Right. I think
I don't want to touch too much on it. We're gonna do, you're gonna do the video
Right.
or whatever. But.
so. I don't know, for some reason, my first initial reaction when I saw the video was basically I don't know how to put it, but basically I don't trust the fucking CIA. I definitely don't trust an undercover video of CIA agents either, right? Especially not contracting officers within the CIA. I mean, I would imagine that you're not just some fucking flunky off the street that's, over there fucking swiping Tinder every now and then. If you're working as a fucking contracting officer in the CIA, I'd imagine you're probably not some fucking idiot if you're working in the CIA, period. So, one thing that I always kind of think about a lot is basically, these intelligence agencies and stuff like that, they're watching us. They're obviously watching us, and especially the conspiracy theorists, right? So there's a good possibility that, a lot of the stuff that we're even talking about, they're not actually doing. And basically, they're just getting their ideas from us. So one thing that just kind of popped into my mind is basically they saw a lot of these Project Veritas undercover investigations and shit like that. And again, this is the CIA. You really think that you caught the fucking CIA on an undercover fucking camera? You really think you undercovered the most undercover fucking covert entity that has ever existed in human history? Like, again, don't get me wrong. There's still a possibility that it's fully authentic, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff that he admits to is some G-rated stuff, some shit that we already knew about. Some
Right.
shit that nobody's fucking surprised about. He doesn't admit to fucking, spying on the Trump campaign. He doesn't admit to anything that's actually a true political consequence other than going after people that they deem, terrorists and shit like that, or fucking, again, with the whole, January 6th people in the crowd, agents in the crowd and shit like that. Like, we already knew that. Like, we already knew there was agents. And even if they're, with a giant fucking crowd like that, if there's not some sort of fucking undercover agents, at least, providing some sort of oversight, I'd be very surprised, So basically, them admitting to basically being 20 agents. So it's not that big of a deal. It's not that far of a stretch. They're not necessarily, and their whole nudge thing. Again, he makes it very clear that no, we do not entrap people. We go right up to the point of it. Basically, he does nothing but confirm all of the stuff that we already fucking knew and suspected, right? So it basically kind of goes to that saying that I say, basically, in the absence of truth, perception becomes reality. So I think that they want people to stop trusting perception, and they want to put out some sort of tiny fucking inconsequential bit of information, basically, so people can see like, I knew it. Meanwhile, they're basically just they're admitting to fucking a petty crime, so that way we stop looking into their fucking high crimes. You know what I mean? And basically, they just fucking basically, almost kind of like, my first thought was, they fucking honeypotted this investigator. It's not the other fucking way around. But again, this is my conspiratorial mind. Just kind of, as soon as I see fucking CIA agents and shit like that, it's like, nah, I don't trust any of it. Basically, I'll start looking and adding extra layers onto what it could possibly be. And again, that was my, kind of my initial reaction to it.
You just told the whole video. That's not initial reaction, man. That was a reaction to the entire video, son. Fucking, the one thing that makes you think that this shit is legitimate. If you've seen floating around the Twitter zones, there's a leaked fucking interior memo from an intelligence agency. Part of their training program now is they have a picture and a description and details of James O'Keefe, where they're telling you, fucking know this man. Do not date this dude. You know what I'm saying? And it's also to that point where it's so filled with weak wrists that they have to go into a room that's predominantly men and show different aliases of another guy to tell them don't try to fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying? That's sad shit. But that verifies the fact that at minimum, James O'Keefe, the shit that he's captured is legit and fucking real deal. The dude's never lost in court as far as I'm aware. So, obviously, maybe not this particular video, but all the ones you've watched previously were real shit. You know what I mean? And I feel what you're saying. It is hard to honeypot, but at the same time, people are only human, and you start getting drinks in you, loose mouth, and especially, I guess, if they're trying to suck some dick or some shit out.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm real as important. Be as impressed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, these are CIA agents, dude. They're not into fucking guys that they met on fucking Tinder or Grindr or whatever fucking app. They're into fucking 12-year-old little girls on islands owned by very rich philanthropists, Yeah, fucking gotta love our government, man.
You like being ruled by pedophiles?
Pedophiles that look like this.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so sound investigations. Again, when I first saw it, instantly the style of it, basically the quick, kind of cutscene breakdowns and stuff as to what's going on and stuff. It's very, very Project Veritas reminiscent, right? And so initially that's your first reaction, and then you see this sound investigations, right? I don't know about you guys. I haven't heard of sound investigations. You heard of sound investigations at all?
No,
Yeah,
not at all, man.
Right. So that was kind of my first clue. And again, I actually haven't really read into much of this at all. Like I said, that was just my shock reaction. So just to see that's kind of what everyone else has been really kind of saying too. It's pretty interesting stuff. Especially because most of the stuff where I get a lot of my information from is Bongino, and Bongino hasn't commented on this video yet. Especially when it comes to this type of stuff. And I go ahead and back out of here.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you look.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
We get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Just to get quick. Just to see what happens. Sometimes you like the views and you like to follow. Nothing like putting on a fake social media thing, like really get the man.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away, chopped his legs off.
Gavin O'Blennis is a contracting officer at the CIA. O'Blennis worked for the FBI in 2021 and 2022 in the San Diego office, moved on to Homeland Security where he conducted asylum interviews at the southern border, and now works for the CIA managing multi-million-dollar contracts across government agencies and private sector vendors.
I work for, I work like this without, I'm not supposed to tell people kind of job. I say intelligence, what do you think? CIA, yep.
Right. That part right there, that's kind of fishy. It seems like almost like I don't know, like he's trying to lead him into like oh, guess what I do? Guess what I do for a living? Again, it's just too much of this, right? Yeah, like I said, too much of this stuff is just fishy. Again, a lot of it does seem legit. A lot of the stuff does seem it doesn't. The dude's not a bad actor. I'll give you that much. If again, if he is aware of the fact that he's being recorded, he's not glancing at the camera every now and then. He's doing a pretty good job of hiding his body language and stuff like that. And almost given an air of legitness to to what he's I guess to the situation, but yeah, just a lot, like I say, fishy stuff.
And you can see it's like, it seems like it's two different visits or something, right? They show him in different clothes and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he was with him
Yep.
multiple times.
See, this one's March 15th, so let's see when the other one is.
That's incredible. Contracting officer. That's amazing. So I deal a lot with like different agencies. We're contracting with like Director of National Intelligence to do stuff. We do Navy, Army, any of them really. I just FBI. I used to work for the FBI, so they threw the FBI at me. They're like, "Here, you used to work there." Oh, I'm permanent. So, yeah.
Well, why do they call it contracting?
Because I do the contracting. I do all the legal contracts. I fly out to vendors and evaluate them. I love the agency. Good for you. I like the Bureau too. The Bureau was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of cool stuff with the Bureau. I was the guy in the back of the truck in the van.
O'Blennis spoke to an undercover Sound Investigations reporter about
Right. And again, like I said, mostly innocent stuff, but then again, just a lot of the stuff that we already suspect them of fucking doing anyway.
Yes, yeah, it was March 22nd.
his work experience involving near entrapment and his employer's involvement with political commentator Alex Jones's legal battles.
As long as the Bureau is able to progress far enough to be able to put pro-lifers in jail whenever they want.
Yeah.
You think that's on the agenda?
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
You set them up. You create the situation to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on that impulse, then we call that entrapment. It's a fine line.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
And we get really close.
Not officially.
No, we get close.
Right. Yeah, of course, nothing's official, right? Why would you be out there fucking on a supposed date where you don't know that you're being filmed and fucking still try and walk that fine line, Again, if you're trying to fucking impress your date and shit like that, like wouldn't you try and fucking like fuck yeah, dude, we fuck people's lives over. Like I fucking there's this one Alex Jones character, you heard of that guy? And again too, fucking if it's someone within the gay community and shit like that, they've probably fucking heard of Alex Jones, or they've probably they would probably be getting a hard on just hearing about the fucking judge and all that shit. We paid that motherfucker off too. Again, it's nothing actually concrete, nothing actually that can really be used to pinpoint them. Again, straight honeypot shit.
He's trying to be the zip up 007, dude. He's trying to be fucking mysterious and swabs.
Right. Don't worry. There's no danger. I'm just gonna get in trouble. They're nothing.
That's right. The way he's moving his hands and stuff. Fucking fruity little lizard, you dude.
Close as we can. We get as close as we can to it without doing it.
So they can entrap some of these pro-lifers into doing things that they don't.
Yeah. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens, right?
And how does that happen?
You put a post out there, or you have some fake profile say something that triggers, that we know is going to trigger them, right? Like we already know. If we're to that point, we already know what to think about it. So we're like, oh, this will piss them off.
Oh.
Sometimes you like to fuse and just wait for it to follow, right?
Like a rally. So when a rally happens, that's sometimes the Bureau behind it?
Yeah, sometimes. Nothing like putting on a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Mm-hmm.
Post fake news. Sometimes it's not fake. It's embellished a little bit.
Who would be like a big influencer that you're after? You're like I don't even know these names. Like a Fox News person or like a Tucker Carlson.
What about them boys from the Liberty Bowl? Right? Going after them. You guys, you pretty much get the gist. Again, the general, I guess, consensus now is that it's definitely not seeming legit. Let me see if I can look up some of the comments on this real quick.
There should be some community notes, at least proposed ones.
All right, let's see. Elon Musk says disturbing. Are you going to cover this? BBC, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Just the government protecting and serving the shit out of you. Classic. January 6th was an inside job. Indeed, it was. Shut down every single one of these tyrannical organizations immediately. Yeah. Hot showings. Release the January 6th political prisoners. Yeah. I don't know. This is huge and should be investigated because many laws were broken by the FBI. All right. So again, the one thing that it does, it does. I guess it would kind of vindicate a lot of the people that have been basically in a fucking DC dungeon for the last 4 years because of January 6th. It basically I guess the government would owe them a big old fat expensive apology, right? Yeah, and then I guess Alex Jones too. Alex Jones, I mean, it really does kind of vindicate him as well. But again, none of it is actually any concrete stuff that they could use. Again, their whole nudge notion and shit like that. I mean, obviously, it's propaganda, but again, Smith Mumford Act, man. Smith Mumford Modernization Act, man. Propaganda on your own citizens is illegal now in America. So, nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, there's really, like I say, nothing of consequence that they could try and pin on them from that video. And so, again, it's seems too good to be true. It probably is. It has anything to do with the CIA. It's probably fucking an illusion or a fucking lie or something.
Yeah, like I said, you don't know, I'm saying, this particular video, but, you never know, man. If they're trying to emulate fucking, old Veritas, could very well be, man. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's not like he was in there spilling real beans. He was saying just enough to try to be cool. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Just to give people something to talk about, so that way they stop imagining what the CIA is actually about.
But even the journalist questions, though, you know what I'm saying? He kept focusing. So you want to jail's pro-lifers? Just kept doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, move on, son. Ask him some good shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So did you guys really spy on Donald Trump's campaign? Yeah.
How many were you in the January 6th crowd?
Right. Whose cocaine was it? Right. That's what I'm dying to know.
Right. He couldn't do it. He'd be over there. He'd start acting weird and shit. He'd be like, "Dude, are you recording me?"
Whose was it, by the way?
Right.
Yeah, those fucking those glasses that fucking James O'Keefe. I even forget what the fucking the report was about, but it just goes in there basically like, I'm James O'Keefe.
Right. Didn't he have a wig too, though?
I
He had
think
a wig
so.
and glasses.
Yeah.
And he was like, bam, double-handed real quick, like Clark Kent out this bitch. Like, how did you not know?
Right.
That's James O'Keefe, man. As soon as we'd have walked in, like, could you imagine that, dude? He just walks in, you're like, dude, you're James O'Keefe, bro.
Whoa. James O'Keefe doesn't wear glasses. Sorry, sir. He thought you were somebody else. Yep. Fucking good shit, man. Welcome to America, people. Welcome to the fall of Western civilization. Again. Right. But see, so we got a woman sentenced to 1 month for stealing the Ashley Biden diary.
What you got the full charges listed?
Yeah,
it's 1 month in jail. All right.
It's a Florida woman convicted of stealing Ashley Biden's diary containing highly personal entries and other valuable materials has been sentenced to 1 month in prison, the Hill reported. Amy Harris, convicted of the 2020 theft, faced sentencing on Tuesday. She received a 1 month prison term. Prosecutors accused her of swiping the diary, tax records, a cell phone, and family photos while temporarily residing at Ashley Biden's Delray Beach residence. The stolen items were later sold to Project Veritas, a controversial news outlet known for its undercover operations. Harris, alongside accomplice Robert Kurlander, pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges in 2022. While New York-based Project Veritas paid them $20,000 each for the stolen goods, it did not publish the diary. However, another website did. So, let's see. Nicholas Baez, a representative of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, verified Harris's sentencing, emphasizing the gravity of her offenses. The gravity of her offenses. Meanwhile, her co-conspirator, Kurlander, awaits his sentencing. Project Veritas, portraying itself as a news organization, has faced criticism for its controversial methods. In 2021, the Department of Justice conducted raids on properties linked to Project Veritas and the personal locations of its founder, James O'Keefe. During the sentencing, Judge Laura Taylor Swain denounced Harris's actions as despicable. Harris expressed remorse and apologized to Ashley Biden, acknowledging her wrongdoing. The DOJ had sought a longer sentence for Harris, citing her history of flouting the law. Yeah, citing her history of flouting the law. So again, nothing concrete, no actual charges, no misdemeanors, nothing like that, but a general disregard for the law. That's why they said that she deserves more time, right? Yeah, definitely fucking legit there. Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Sullivan argued for stricter punishment, emphasizing Harris's disregard for legal norms. In her defense, Harris's lawyers pleaded for leniency, highlighting the shame she bears for her actions. Right. I just pulled up a short article, but yeah, it's about the gist of it.
Yeah, she gets like a month in jail, actual jail, like 9 months of house arrest, some petty fines, like hundreds of dollars. Nothing crazy, man, but this verifies it. But there's also an audio tape. I think Bongino's the one that played it, where these people were actually talking to her, like, and they were trying to set up somewhere to meet to, so she could get the diary or what have you. I don't, and then obviously after that, they tried to sell it to fucking James O'Keefe and whatnot. Them saying portrayed as a news outlet. It's one of the greatest fucking investigative journalists on the planet, man. Fucking James O'Keefe. The dude's put out some serious shit. But you see, it's all just word games and trying to muddy up fucking people's names and whatnot. This chick didn't do shit. The flouting of the law that they're contending with is her refusing to cooperate with them, where she stated she was listening to her attorneys. You know what I mean? And she did, make the mistake of apologizing, but I'm sure it was probably, for lenience. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like, you want to be able to charge someone, right? Like, they got my stuffs, but a fucking diary, ultimately, that's only worth someone because it's hurting a political career. You know what I mean? But it also, like we said, it kind of verifies the shit that's in there, which is, her saying that she was probably molested and that, her dad was showering with her up until like the age of 11 or some shit, 10 or 11. Some sick shit. So, who's really guilty of crimes here? Joe Bribens.
All right, let's see. Yeah, if I can, I got this article pulled up here. If again, like I say, it's vindication that basically the locker, not the locker, the diary is real. Again, it does implicate fucking Joe Biden some pretty weird stuff. Showering with her when she was what was it, like 10 years old, something like that. Definitely some weird shit. But basically, the fact that they're going through with these types of lawsuits and basically charging them with theft and stuff like that and conspiracy, it basically just like I said, vindicates that it's real, right? So, see, when was this from? From March 2023, right? So actually just about a little over a year ago, right? Hunter Biden sues computer repairman for invasion of privacy over handling of his laptop. All right, so Hunter Biden is suing a Delaware-based computer repairman for invasion of privacy and publication of private information. The counterclaim lawsuit, which also responds to repairman John McIsaac's libel lawsuit, argues that McIsaac invaded Biden's privacy in 2019, accessing and wrongfully sharing his personal data with several individuals. Right. So, I mean, again, that's from a year ago, so we're not going to go too deep into it. But again, they're idiots. They're fucking idiots, dude. They're over here trying to like, no, that's Russian disinformation. That's conspiracy. Like, no, that's definitely not real. No, you can't prove any of that. And by the way, I'm suing you for revealing my personal information.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it's not mine.
in that situation that you remember that dude that owned the computer shop. I mean, he stated he tried to get a hold of Hunter on multiple occasions, tried to get him to come pick up the laptop. Dude refused. He
Almost
relinquished the
identical.
property. Yeah, you relinquish the property, and someone shows other people what's in that property. Like, dude, But as far as the Biden diary, she actually, if you heard the audio, she wanted it back. She even said, like, I hate to get Secret Service involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she wanted her diary back. I mean, obviously, she knows that's probably if the left gave a shit about decency and morals, it would be even worse than the laptop.
Right. Yep, that's definitely not the case on the left, though.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, fucking that's our president. Knows are his kids. That's the fucking the first family right now.
Again, on that laptop, his own son referred to him as Pedo Petter.
Right.
Pedo Peter. So that's there for you, man. You know what I mean? And
Right.
if you listen to CNN, it's illegal for you to look at that stuff.
All right, countless videos of him fucking sniffing random people's kids. Like, yeah, it's not even like no, it's legit. Like, dude's a fucking weirdo, man. Like an impulsive weirdo.
Definitely got to listen to that mutant E. Jean Carroll, dude, because that's Trump's MO, dude. Even though you've seen him with nothing but big titty blondes your entire life, and
Right.
fucking, but the multiple claims on Joe Biden's, and like you just said, the countless videos, the laptop, the diary, all that's fake. That's not real. You can't believes all women unless they're pointing at Joe Biden's.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Again, it just further emphasizes the double standard of justice that we have here in America. Again, though, that's proving to be a good thing. It's waking up a lot of people, and that's why I say basically we're getting now to the point where people are going to either wake up and it's like, well, I guess we live in fucking communist America now, or people are going to take all this information that they see and basically do something about it. And that's that's what remains to be seen within these next few years. It's definitely, like I said, it's definitely going to be a tumultuous time. But yeah, hopefully we get some of this I guess just freaking blatant corruption. It's blatant corruption, and it's coupled with just a complete disregard for the responsibilities that are vested in the people that we are trusting to fucking run our country. And at this point, in human history, the people that we're really kind of trusting to run the goddamn world. And so, yeah, hopefully a lot of the stuff with the ship is able to get corrected when Donald Trump gets back in office. And really, again, I think a lot of stuff that's gonna fix that is transparency. And I think a lot of this, I guess, like I say, lawfare is really kind of waking people up to just how dangerous our government actually is.
And it's amazing to me that the left, they'll still, like, Trump's a bigot, yada, yada, because he said this about Mexicans. Like, dude, if you listen to context, not only did he not say that, but he's for you. That's why. Like, regardless if you say, he's a narcissist, he's a billionaire, yada, like, dude, I mean, it's still what's good for America is good for him. He's a capitalist, man. And he's trying to do what's right for the American people, regardless if you like them or not. And by saying, we need to secure the border, that's not being racist. That's saying they're not American. I don't want to do for them. You know what I mean? And that's the choice at this point. Like I was saying, I was just reading that article with Tim Kaine saying, it's all they want to do is tear us down and tear us apart. And Trump's the biggest tear apart artist there is, was, the quote, just about verbatim there. And, it's like, again, this is what the left does. Everything is division. From fucking college graduations to fucking, civic fucking gatherings, so on and so forth. Everything is divided. Color, sex, gender, fucking, I mean, any way that they can.
infiltrate, destroy, rebuild. Yep. We're seeing it fucking play out in real life, you know. All that fucking shit that you never thought, oh, it's never gonna happen here in America. You know, it's happening here in America.
Yeah, people are getting arrested for fucking praying. Old ladies are going to prison. You have fucking presidents being fucking prosecuted for contrived bullshit or blatant distortion of fucking old laws that have never been used, and just novel shit. I mean, it's just destruction, man.
Yep, and it's not our own government. It's not even just our own government. I mean, really, our government is designed to be, I guess, the most restricted government, on the planet, which, of course, a restricted government means a freer people, right? So that's why basically we've always been touted as the freest nation on earth because of things like our free speech laws, gun rights, basically separation of powers, checks and balances, all that good stuff, right? But right now we're seeing places like Brazil going after, people, American citizens such as Elon Musk for basically violating their not free speech laws, for violating their anti-speech laws. They're basically they're trying to
interzone restrictions.
Right. They're trying to charge Elon Musk with let's see, what was it? See, the Biden regime hates Elon Musk for allowing free speech in America. They want to arrest him and seize his company, but the Constitution won't allow it. So what is their workaround? Use a Marxist puppet government in Brazil to try and arrest him instead. Yep, that's it's about the gist of it. It's about what's going on here, right? So let me see if I can find one that just kind of sums it up pretty quickly. All right, so the conflict between technology magnate Elon Musk and Brazilian authorities intensified when Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes, initiated an investigation into Musk over potential obstruction of justice and incitement to crime. The dispute centers on Elon Musk's announcement that he would reactivate blocked social media accounts on platform X, which he owns, in defiance of an unconstitutional judicial order. The Gateway Pundit reported on Saturday that the global government affairs team of X Corp issued a statement expressing their forced compliance with Brazilian court decisions to block certain actions, citing a lack of transparency and due process in these orders. The statement highlighted the company's commitment to challenging these orders legally, advocating for the principles of freedom and for the principles of freedom of speech and transparency within the Brazilian constitution. X's Global Government Affairs said in a statement, X Corp has been forced by court decision to block certain unpopular accounts in Brazil. We have informed those accounts that we have taken this action. We do not know the reasons these blocking orders have been issued. We do not know which posts are alleged to violate the law. We are prohibited from saying which court or judge issued the order or on what grounds. We are prohibited from saying what accounts are impacted. We are threatened with daily fines if we fail to comply. We believe that such orders are not in accordance with the Marco Civil de Internet or the Brazilian federal constitution, and we challenge the orders legally where possible. The people of Brazil, regardless of their political beliefs, are entitled to freedom of speech, due process, and transparency from their own authorities. All right. So I don't know, just one thing, one point I just kind of want to make is when it comes to banning, these platforms or stuff like that, if you want to basically censor your own people and shit like that, you do it. You fucking censor it then. You fucking you go out there on a stage and tell your citizens why you are banning them from, the free speech platform, right? Why they are not allowed to have free speech. Your government, the government of Brazil, should go out there and basically make a law saying that, nope, we can't do X. Yeah, you guys can't do X because, they're not going to comply with our, judicial rulings and shit like that. They're not going to abide by our laws. And so therefore, you guys can't have it and shit. That's what they need to do, right? It's not necessarily incumbent on fucking Elon Musk. Of course, I mean, it is, in the fact that he wants to, make money and have more people on the platform and stuff like that. But I mean, really, again, if the platform has its own principles and shit like that, that's the platform. It's not necessarily, they say it's more incumbent upon the fucking governments to be able to go after, tell their own citizens why they're blocking them from being able to use shit, rather than trying to fucking put pressure on, these private companies in order to get them to do their bidding.
They want though. They want oligarchs, man. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, they're gonna tell them, but they're gonna say it's for the safeties of the kids. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The same shtick they always run with, man.
It's always in
You
the
know?
name of safety.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not much they can really do besides, like I said, the WEF bullshit, where it's, we're gonna fine him, every day, every post until he either acquiesces, or just removes posts, pages, shit like that. I mean, it's pretty blatant
Yeah.
at this point. They're pushing everything they can. We keep talking about our election here, but in reality, there's elections happening across the globe. Something in like 50 Western countries or some shit at the same time, and populism rising, across the West in particular. And you see these moves happening again across the West, where they keep trying to find ways to shut down speech and prosecute, opposing, political fucking, you know, parties and individuals. I mean, and Trump isn't the only one. This is just you're in America, so you hear a censored, dumbed down version of the actual news. But I mean, it's happening in Germany, obviously Brazil, fucking in France. I mean, so on and so on. And where it's not happening, it's because like Maloney, for instance, she was supposed to be this right wing fascist, that was coming to take over Italy. But since she's came in, she's actually, bow down, open the border, shit like that. So they either bow or they get prosecuted, debanked, so on and so forth.
Yep. That's the machine. The machine, it'll get you. All right. And unless you're fucking somebody like Elon Musk or Donald Trump, it's gonna get you. I don't think fucking Elon Musk probably got more money than Donald Trump, but I don't think Elon Musk really would have as much support as Donald Trump would in a lot of these lawfare endeavors.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to break Elon, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
even now that he's lost, spent all this money on Twitter, and then has lost so much money on Twitter, and Tesla stock going down, shit like that. The dude's still the third richest person on the fucking planet as far as paper's concerned.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I don't see that ending anytime soon, man. But
Yeah,
they're definitely going to try.
And Trump just got back into the top 500. So that's a massive fucking difference, man.
All right. Try as they might, man. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. And then Elon's fucking, parents own a fucking diamond mine or some shit, right?
Yep.
So there's that.
Right.
It'd be hard to
be all right.
guy. Yeah.
I think he'll make it. All right. But so election season is definitely fucking kicking up. All right. There's definitely a lot of clear signs coming from the Biden administration, right? They're really kind of pushing hard right now. They do have a couple of different things, I guess, going in their favor. One of them is going to be Biden student debt cancellation. We'll be talking about that right now in a second. And then we also got the abortion ruling coming out of Arizona. We'll be talking about that right after. They both kind of play into each other. And the fact that those are both very good things for the Biden administration, basically for the Democrat Party, right? They are both very politically positive things for the Democrats, which of course means that it's bad for us, right? So go ahead and I'll start out with the Biden debt cancellation. Let me see.
Stealing from you to fucking 5 votes.
Right. So just in, Biden unilaterally cancels another $7.4 billion in student loan debt in latest vote buying gimmick. Joe Biden on Friday unilaterally canceled another $7.4 billion in student loan debt in his latest vote buying gimmick ahead of the 2024 election. Today, President Biden announced that 277,000 more Americans will get their student debt canceled, bringing the total debt relief approved by the Biden-Harris administration to $153 billion. $153 billion. And that has basically just been socialized throughout the people in favor of these people that were irresponsible and took out large loans that they were not either able or willing to pay back. And so basically now the risk has been socialized among the people, right? To the tune of $153 billion for benefiting 4.3 million Americans through various actions. The White House announced on Friday the 277,000 Americans receiving the latest round of debt relief are borrowers enrolled in the SAVE plan. Other borrowers enrolled in income-driven repayment plans, and borrowers receiving public service loan forgiveness. The Biden-Harris administration the Biden and Harris administration fixed income driven repayment IDR and launched the SAVE plan last year, the most affordable repayment plan ever. Already 8 million borrowers are enrolled in SAVE. 4.5 million of those borrowers have a monthly payment of $0, and over 1 million additional borrowers have a monthly payment of less than $100. And if borrowers took out low balances of loans, the SAVE plan puts them on a faster path to debt relief after at least 10 years of payments, the White House said. Biden has used a series of workarounds to circumvent the Supreme Court's decision to strike down his student loan bailout program. Last year, the Supreme Court ruled in a 6-3 decision against Joe Biden's student loan relief program. So the Department of Education rolled out a workaround forbearance program to cancel $39 billion in student loans by counting non-payments as payments for a period of time. Only it isn't your typical forbearance program. Borrowers won't have to pay back missed payments or make up the difference of reduced payments. No interest will accrue on any of the missed payments as well. In January, Biden unilaterally canceled another $5 billion student loan debt for 74,000 borrowers in his latest vote buying gimmick. Joe Biden also announced he would cancel student loans for borrowers who took out less than $12,000 and have been in repayment for 10 years. If it's taking you 10 years to pay back $12,000 and you went to college, something's wrong with you. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, that's about it. That's about the gist of it. Fucking old Biden's going and trying to buy votes. We all knew it was going to happen, but yeah, that's the latest gimmick, man. What's your thoughts on that?
It gets worse. Like I don't know if you've seen afterwards. Kamala's sitting there reading from cards herself, telling you that they're not only doing this, but they're going to forgive fucking loans for people that didn't graduate. So people that took out loans and blew the cash or, just dicked around and, went about their way, you're going to pick up that dime as well. Also, it doesn't matter about income brackets. So, regular Joe Schmo, you and I will be paying for people that have MDs and, whatnot, engineering degrees and so on and so forth. And like you just said, if you borrow less than 12 grand and you've been paying 10 years, dude, I mean, come on, bro. You don't even have a job. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not even working at
the
fucking
fuck you
McDonald's
doing,
at
man?
this point, right? That's that good old, lesbian dance theory fucking degree, man. Right. Liberal art bullshit where your only hope is to be a fucking teacher. You know what I'm saying? And not that teaching's bad, right? Right. I mean, we're just talking income here. So cash, if that's what you're going for, teaching's not it. Right. But
even still, you should be able to pay back $10,000 within 10 years. Like, right. Jesus, that's bad.
I mean, in reality, the average person, dude, you take out a 10 grand loan right now, you'll have that paid back within 4 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With interest, everything. You know what I mean? Like, just put it on auto pay, take it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's nothing. And fucking, but obvious, just blatantly trying to buy votes. The Supreme Court's already struck this down. Again, this guy just shirks fucking, law and ethics. You know what I'm saying? Jurisprudence doesn't mean a fucking thing when you're a Democrat. And it's pretty shitty, especially you got people sitting around you going, it's not bad, we're helping out other fellow Americans. Like, no, you're stealing from me. You know what I mean? You're
Right.
adding to the national debt. No loans are forgiven, all loans are paid. You're adding it to the national debt, which just the interest payments alone is about to be our government's largest expense, just
Right.
paying the interest. Right. So just like we're talking about these people with these fucking loans, and you can't pay off 10 grand in fucking, 10 years. Like, it's the same situation where the interest just keeps, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Just
all
roll
you're
it
doing
over
is
to the
paying,
next
yeah,
one.
yeah, the debt
Omnibus.
just keeps growing, man. And this is why they're telling this guy running around saying, we cut 1.7 trillion from the national debt. With his policies in place, we're set to hit 50 trillion in debt within fucking 6 years.
Yep. Fucking Agenda 2030, you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Fucking yeah. Like I say, if you were trying to destroy the country, you wouldn't do anything different. Yeah. Fucking obviously it's also a slap in the face to not only people like me that didn't actually fucking end up going to college because, well, for one, I wasn't, I'm not going to try and fucking say that I was on the direct path to college in the first place. I ain't even going to try and play like I was that sort of fucking, good kid in school or anything like that. I wasn't college bound, to be honest, anyway. But either way, I didn't get to fucking go to college. But if I would have known that if I could take out fucking 20, 30, fucking $40,000 worth of fucking loans and they're just going to get, forgiven, I would have probably fucking gone. I would have probably gone for something. Fuck. I don't know. I would have probably fucking done something, shit. I was trying to be a little bit responsible, I knew that I'd never be able to pay that type of fucking debt back, so, I didn't end up going. So really it's kind of a bit of an insult to me to, have to fucking work my ass off every goddamn day. And again, I'm not trying to say that, like, oh, that's society's fault. No, it's my fault that I got to work like a fucking, slave for the rest of my goddamn life. But that doesn't mean that I should have to fucking pay other motherfuckers college tuitions who refuse to work even like a fucking regular person any fucking day in their life. And I should have to pay back their fucking loans. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely fucking outrageous. And at the same time, people that were responsible and paid back their fucking loans, it's also an insult to those people too. And at the same, a lot of the stuff that Biden is trying to relieve, it's for the worst fucking payers. It's for the people that literally have not paid on their loans in fucking years. It's literally it's the people with the highest fucking interest rates, the people that, like I said, have the lowest fucking payment history. Those are the fucking people that Joe Biden's trying to fucking move to the front of the line for debt relief. He's basically rewarding the worst of the worst offenders,
Yeah, you bring it to a micro level, man. It's your credit card. If you only make the fucking minimum every month, your debt's going to increase. You
Right.
spent that money. Whatever the fuck you spent it on, pay the shit back. It's that fucking simple, man. And to hear people say, oh, "I made this conscious decision, and you should be straddled with the costs," eat a dick, son. You know what I mean?
Fuck right off with that, man.
Yeah. Spit in the face for every person that not only didn't go to college, but the ones that did and paid off their loans. The parents that put their schools or their children through school and paid that shit off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just keeps going. It's a big fuck you to everybody. And even if you feel this is a good thing, we're helping. You're not. You're straddling your grandchildren. Right?
Right. Yep. It's really, if you really want to kind of look at it, the whole straddling your grandchildren and shit like that, it's basically the same fucking thing that we've been doing, the whole credit card analogy and shit like that. We've been living in this fucking state of opulence for the past several decades, ever since World War II, basically since the 70s when we got off the gold standard. And the reason for that is because basically we don't go off of a fixed income anymore, right? There's money isn't pegged to anything anymore. So basically, we've been celebrating how rich we are. In the reality, we just got a fucking credit loan, or we just got a credit increase, and we basically just went fucking spending fucking wild and shit. It's basically like getting approved for like $1,000 credit card, and then you go out fucking swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping, and then a month later and shit, you're like, fuck, man, I'm broke as fuck now. Like, But yeah, shit. Remember, you guys remember last week though? I was fucking rich. That's basically
Mhm.
how our economy has worked for the last several decades. And all that we keep doing to make ourselves feel rich again is getting more fucking credit line increases. And every time we fucking increase our credit line, we sit there and celebrate like, yeah, we did it. Look at us. We're fucking financial geniuses. Like,
Yeah, even the dollar, since we were taking off the gold standard, it says good for debt, right?
all right.
And that tells you, like, again, always we put it out there. Check money is debt on YouTube. Great, you can watch it in installments or an hour straight. Give you an in-depth explanation of what we're getting at. But the dollars are worthless. Everything's credit, and our government borrows $1 trillion every 100 days. Borrows, right? And it's not that we need to up taxes. They're taking in record revenue. You know what I'm saying? And again, a carryover from Trump, and then Biden came in and increased taxes, and you're paying more, but they're just blowing it out the fucking window faster than you can fucking work it off.
They're fucking addicted to spending. Yeah. They're addicted. Like in a literal sense, they can't seem to fathom, like, what do you mean run government with less than $1 trillion? How does that even, I can't even fathom how that's going to work. But then who's going to fucking be my secretary's secretary for their secretary of the secretaries? We got to pay all these people. Like that's
Right.
really how these fucking, people work. That's how these people operate. That's the way that these people think. And at the same time, a lot of these people are, sitting up there fucking, getting rich, doing their fucking insider stock trades and all this and that type shit, sitting here like, no, inflation's not that bad. It's not that bad out there. Where the economy's really not, I don't know what everybody's talking about. It's like, dude, it's because you're fucking rich. If the prices of fucking groceries go up for you, a couple $100 here and there, you probably aren't even going to notice a difference. If it goes up couple $100 for the average Joe like me and you, we're fucked.
Yeah. And you got the normies saying, with good intentions, with taxes, well, we're helping, Americans, but we're not, you know what I mean? We got to have services, firemen, yada, yada. But again, nothing's being paid for. It's all credit. All the money that you're paying in, it's not going to pay for services.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's being shipped to other countries, or it's a payment being made on fucking the interest of debt.
Yep. We're basically getting a loan and pretending we're rich. Yep. Fucking crazy shit, man. So the whole fucking socialized schooling and shit like that, it's like I say, it's just one more nail in the coffin of our economy. But I mean, of course, it is reflecting with the Biden administration. I mean, the Biden administration, their entire fucking 4-year term has not had inflation below 3%, right? And it's fucking gotten up to what is it, up to like 9% at one point during the Biden
Like
administration,
8.7 or some shit. Yeah.
right? And it has never gone back. It has never gone to where it's supposed to be, which is below 2%. So there's that. Yeah, there's that little bit of information, and so more information came out. I think it was at like 3% year over year for the last year, something like that. Or, I mean, 3.8%.
Yeah, and the people try to talk about when you compare with Trump's numbers, and they'll say, well, what about COVID? But then even with COVID averaged in, like the average inflation during Trump's presidency was 1.9%. You know what I'm saying? And
If you
the
were,
highest it jumped to, I believe, was like 2.8. And then when he left office again, it was 2.2. You know what I
right,
mean? And then within just weeks of Biden coming in with a pen and a phone, it jumped up to over 8%. And then he went on 60 Minutes to say, "Whoa, it's not like it just jumped up." Like,
right.
no, that's exactly what it did, Bobby, and
That
it's
whole
sustained.
that whole inflation is transitory narrative that they were trying to push during the beginning of the Biden administration, that would have been the case actually if they hadn't fucking continued fucking spending outrageously, right? So basically, like I said, the Trump fucking COVID stimuluses and shit like that, that was a huge fucking jump in government spending, right? And then, like I said, that would have been a transitory had they gone back to the way that they were spending beforehand. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Basically, they got that fucking credit line increase, and then they just started spending at that fucking level continuously. That's why inflation was never actually transitory. That's why it never actually went fucking back down, right? That's why it wasn't just a fucking little blip in the radar, because of the fact that that blip just became the new fucking platform. It became the new plateau, you know?
And they
that's why,
changed the metrics, like, and they only like to show you like week over week, shit
right,
like that. As far as it's concerned, they don't show you annual. And when you see even the metrics when they try to use full fucking term, it's not real because they'll still tell you, oh, it's it's been 4% on average or what have you. Even with factoring in the original leap. But your food costs, your gas, your whatever the case. I mean, I just posted on pretty much every social media platform a short video of Bidenomics where it shows the actual inflation for individual items, and nothing's below like 23%.
yeah. But don't worry, you guys, we're going to pay off your student loans.
Yeah.
Yep. And don't worry, I know I said it last time, but this time we're really going to have cures for Alzheimer's and diabetes and, the thing.
Chocolate chip.
Right. Fucking retard motherfucker. But so the other so that's one of the things that the Biden administration kind of, I guess they kind of have going for them, because that does basically get them the college vote, which they already had anyway. There's, and I don't think that there's any possibility of Donald Trump taking away the fucking college age demographic from Joe Biden.
Teachers unions included.
Right. Again, because they're fucking idiots. They're fucking idiot commies. Right. So I don't think there's any chance of them changing their mind anyway. So basically, this is just him, I guess, kind of fucking digging further into his base, trying to solidify his base of idiots. Right. But another thing that is a very polarizing subject, and especially on the right, right? I mean, really, it's only a polarizing subject on the right. On the left is pretty much, has got a general consensus. But the topic of abortion, right? Every time the topic of abortion comes up, the right instantly runs in two separate directions from each other, in two very separate directions from each other, right? On the one hand, we got the people like, Donald Trump, like the people on this show, a lot of the more moderate, more pragmatic conservatives that basically safe, legal, rare, leave it up to the fucking states. Whatever states decide, that is the law of the land for that region, right? And then you also have the evangelical right, or the people that are again, when it comes to abortion and shit like that, in my own personal life, never, absolutely not. It's, I cannot even fathom my own, friggin' flesh and blood not being able to exist on this earth, because I don't know, for whatever personal reasons I had. But when it comes to society at large, I don't believe that a government should interfere with society at large, other than what locale small localities and stuff decide amongst themselves is right for their region, right? But anyway, the topic of abortion, it really, like I say, it really does polarize the right a lot, and that's a major issue that has been on everybody's fucking tongues this week. All right, so I did a video earlier this week on the Arizona Supreme Court ruling that, of course, the Democrats are wasting no fucking time to run out and play victim and fucking pander and fucking basically try and conflate things to be what they're not. All right, so I did a whole little breakdown of that. Basically, what it is after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the Arizona made a law in 2022 that basically makes it to where you cannot have abortions after 15 weeks, right? You cannot have them after that 15 weeks. And that was basically I forget the word right now, but it relied on the fact that Roe v. Wade was in place, right? So Roe v. Wade being in place was what allowed abortions to be facilitated in the first place. So in Arizona, the only reason that we were allowed to have abortions is because of Roe v. Wade. Originally, with Arizona's first original laws from when they were a territory, the laws known as the Howe Code, it expressly, forbids abortions. Right, punishable by 1 year in fucking jail. So not that big of a fucking charge, I guess. But either way, it does expressly forbid abortions here in Arizona. So that being said, no laws have changed. That law has not been nullified, and basically no laws legalizing abortion in Arizona have taken place because they didn't need to, because of the fact that Roe v. Wade basically made that the constitutional law of America. Right. So once Roe v. Wade was overturned, and they tried, putting this 15-week limit on it, well, basically the overturning of Roe v. Wade made Arizona go default back to the Howe Code in terms of abortion, because that's quite literally the only law regarding abortion that Arizona has, in terms of whether or not it's legal. So basically, what the court decision says is that we are not. Basically, it cites Article 3 of Arizona's Constitution, which is basically the separation of powers. And it basically says that the Arizona courts are not the arbiters of morality. That's the job of the legislature, right? Basically, the job of the courts is to interpret constitutionality of laws, right? And so basically, they're saying that there is the only law that we have in terms of abortion is this one from the Howe Code that basically bans it. So it's banned. So how can we cut it off at 15 weeks? Right? That does not compute. It's incompatible with each other. So basically, all the Supreme Court did was they said, this is the law that's in place. You guys need to go back to the fucking drawing board, repeal that law in order to legalize abortion, and then you guys are able to set a limit on it. So basically, that's the long version of all that it was. And so now the left and the Democrats are wasting no time to basically go out there and, they're trying to institute some draconian measures and stuff, and all this and that yada yada bullshit. It's all propaganda, and it's all because of the fact that abortion is a very polarizing issue, especially in a swing state like Arizona. And that's basically the whole gist of why this really shitty call right now. Just bad timing, I guess, in the state of Arizona, because like I said, they're not going to waste. They're going to talk. That's going to be their entire fucking campaign is abortion, because they can't fucking run on Donald Trump's going to close the border. Shit, most motherfuckers in Arizona want the goddamn border closed at this point. So I mean, they can't run on that no more. But in Arizona, they got the fucking abortion issue. And it's going to be a political, I don't know, shitstorm.
They get to throw that one in, like you said, it's a swing state, but ultimately they're trying to make it a fucking front burner issue. And if you think this is a front burner issue with the current condition of things, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? You're easily riled to the most fucking mundane, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And again, there's a Democrat governor. There's a pretty close to almost split fucking state legislature. You know what I mean? Something will come to pass. If anything, the Democrats will stall it out so they can use it for fodder for the election. But after that, I'm sure it will be quickly dealt with. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a temporary thing. And, it's crazy to me that you can watch the destruction of the economy, the border of the place be over fucking whelmed with foreign criminals. Like, day after day, it's constant shit you see, police being attacked, different random people, and chicks being killed, yada, and that's what you want to worry about. Well, I gotta kill my kids. You know what I'm saying? And again, I regardless of my personal views, whatever, I don't think it should be an issue to where it's outright banned. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's uses for it. I think there's times for it. And again, it should be the state's choice, but as usual, you have a Republican legislature here as well. That's what they do. They fucking lose. You know what I mean? And so just like a Lindsey Graham, and I just heard Matt Walsh tripping the fuck out about this, saying that, they're going to use this as fodder. They're going to say this is why we lost. Like, that's because this is a losing issue. You know what I mean? Like, you will lose moderates, and anyone that's teetering, this could be the one that pushes them over to the other side very easily. You know what I mean? And again, I personally don't see it as a front burner issue, but obviously, other people do. Yeah, the ticket to be irresponsibles and call it healthcare, that's
Right.
a
Call it
top
contraceptive even.
of mind, right? And
Yeah.
and I do believe your body, your choice. Ultimately, like I said, it shouldn't be totally removed, but it's also your choice beforehand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And yeah, just another quick point, in terms of, your body, your choice and shit like that. If you're making the choice to realize that you're probably not going to be a good fucking parent, probably a good choice. If, as someone that's, seen a lot of really, 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 really fucking bad parents, shit, a lot of, I think a lot of that could be, taken care of, is if people just, come to realizations, or if people are able to just, like, fuck it, I ain't ready for this. you know Again, it's a very touchy issue, in terms of, the conservative. It really is a political thorn in the side of the Republican Party right now. And again, the Democrats are fucking loving it. They could not fucking ask. They're gonna try and pretend like, oh, this is so dark days for women and shit like that. And they fucking love every second of it, because they know that this is a very politically touchy issue on the right, and it's already being used to attack the Arizona Senate candidate. Where I love her, fucking Carrie Lake. They're already fucking trying to attack Carrie Lake with it, because of the fact that Carrie Lake has been a pretty staunch pro-lifer, for her campaign as governor of Arizona. Pretty much a lot of her time just campaigning and shit like that. She's been pretty pro-life, and so she recently basically came out with the same position as Donald Trump, as basically leave it up to the states. I'm not going to touch this one. Whatever the states decide, that's on them. All right. So that, again, they're basically saying, oh, Carrie Lake's a flip flopper, this and that. She doesn't believe in anything. She's just fucking licking her finger and going whichever way the wind blows and shit like that. And yes, that last part is somewhat true in my opinion, but you have to look at the different the locality of office that she's going for. Right, when she is running for governor, she is going for the governor of Arizona. Right, that's our small locality. That's basically where the states' rights in terms of abortion would come into play. So basically, if you really are pro-life and you're trying to do things for your own state, then yeah, you should probably come out with your actual position on it. But in terms of federal government and stuff like that, federal regulations, basically the position of the federal government should stay the fuck out of it. I'd say is a pretty politically pragmatic position for somebody that's trying to get elected to the federal government, to be the representative of Arizona in the Senate. I think it's a pretty like I say, pretty politically pragmatic position to hold. So of course, yeah, when it comes to what office you're trying to go for, it probably makes a good bit of sense to lick your finger, see which would be the best course of action.
We were talking earlier about Democrat solidarity. One that's you said maybe can Trump like that's solidarity, man. You're rolling with the leader of the current leader of the party, right? And then she even I don't know if you heard that video that she made, but she goes on to say some pretty pro-life shit, that she would never have an abortion, that's her personal fucking view. You know what I mean? And at this point, not only do you got to realize it's a political shit that they're going to use for fodder, but it's also a losing position. Like but there's personal choice, and if you truly believe in fucking liberty, freedom, the standard of America, like you choose your path, and if somebody else wants to choose that and they can deal with it, live with it, whatever, and I have no financial stake in it, like Biden trying to make it like you said, contraceptive, like you're supposed to pick up the tab as usual. I mean, then again, it's on them, and the state government is much easier to influence than the federal leviathan. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Thinking a real quick question on the issue. What's your thoughts on states being able to reach across other state lines? The whole fucking issue going on right now. Like, oh well, if you're a citizen of, I don't know, fucking Oklahoma, or I'm not sure where they have a one of those strict abortion bans in the Bible Belt. And if you go fucking to another state to get an abortion, we could still prosecute you for that. And, basically, yeah, but I don't know, what's your stance on that? I'm pretty sure, you could probably figure it, but it's another good point to bring up in terms of this subject,
Yeah, I think that if you don't break the law inside of a state, it doesn't matter what the fuck their law is. I mean,
Right.
I'm sure every minute of the day you break, you do something that's illegal somewhere throughout the country.
Right.
Even if it's some outdated law that's not enforced, it's still on the books. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so, that's fucking bullshit. That's just like California trying to, oh, if you move out of California, you still got to pay California taxes for 5 years. Like, fuck you, man. You
Do
know
they
what I
prosecute?
mean?
Do they prosecute people that go to Vegas and gamble and then come back? Like, I doubt that.
Right, right.
Do they prosecute people that go to fucking Colorado and fucking smoke weed and shit and then go back to their home state? Like, I highly doubt it. Again, it really is just like I say, it's a very, very polarizing position. It's a very polarizing subject on the right, and like I say, that's probably the biggest thorn in our side right now. Is like I say,
That's
you
why I
have
feel that's where Trump kind of comes in. Like,
yeah,
it's like there's a whole group of people in this country that are like politically lost, right? I count myself in this. I told you before, like, went from like libertarian shit to watching that party be influenced by disenfranchised leftists, bringing in fucking, obvious Democrat candidates speaking about open borders and whatnot. And, then the so-called conservatives, they're only conservative with like shit like this, like social issues. They're still responsible for, liberal spending and, in other aspects. But when it comes to this, it's I'm pro-life. We got to ban it. Like, what the fuck do you care what somebody else does, man? And
right.
again, you just take the federal funding out of it. No federal funding for Planned Parenthood, or you know what I'm saying? I don't want to pay for your shit, just like I don't want you to pay for my shit.
Yeah.
Simple as that, man. And then deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the way that this place was designed to fucking operate. All
Yeah.
this new type of stuff that we're trying. The only reason that we're trying it is because fucking generally it's not allowed. That's why we're trying to do all this, universal health care and all this fucking universal basic income and all this and that type of shit. Fucking, assault weapons bans, fucking, gun show loopholes and all this and that type of shit. We're banning private sales of fucking firearms. Like, all of this stuff you cannot do. And that's why they have to keep trying it again and again and again and again, because our Constitution pretty much expressly forbids this type of stuff. It pretty much expressly forbids the federal government from attempting to do these types of overreaches, right? And so that's why we're at the point where they're not trying to build a better life for Americans. Now they're just trying to see what the fuck we could get away with doing. Like, that's where we're at here in America.
And the C-19 showed them they can push pretty goddamn far, and the cattle will just go along with the herd.
Yeah, as long as you call it a public health emergency.
And it's for the kidses.
All right. Or if you can conflate it to race, all right, which we saw this week with Dexter Reed. Right. So I watch police videos and shit, pretty often. So I actually saw the video before all the controversy came out and stuff like that. And I don't know, did you see the video at all?
I heard the audio. That was it. I was listening to the podcast while I was
so basically they pull up on this young black male, he's got a gun on him. He's been known for carrying a gun. He's been arrested for having a gun illegally, and so basically they pull up on this guy, high risk, and so they pull up on him, and originally they're telling him, roll down your window, and he starts rolling his window up, and they tell him, roll down your fucking window and shit, and then he just basically like, nope. And so they pull out their guns and shit like that. He pulls out his gun and starts fucking shooting, fucking blah 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 blah, starts fucking blasting out the cops, fucking actually shoots one through the fucking forearm, like fucking shatters both of his fucking forearm bones. His fucking hands just dangling and shit like a fucking piece of putty and shit. Pretty crazy looking shit. But yeah, it's very, very obvious that he shot first. Like, it's not even like in question. It's very.
It shot 11 times. 11 times, man. And the police did not fire a round until he fired off 11.
Yeah. And and the media immediately fucking just, let's find his fucking high school graduation photo. Let's go fucking interview his mom and this and that type shit, you know. And the headlines that they put is, you know, just pretty much basically what you obviously expect the you know, the lamestream media and shit to be reporting. Basically, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, fucking an innocent young black man gunned down by police. They said that they shot 96 times or something like that. Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind, it was like 6 fucking police officers, and you know, I'm pretty sure all of them basically
Just emptied out.
did a reload, right? You know, did a reload and just fucking kept shooting. You know, which
Yeah,
of course
15 in
he's
the clips, huh?
right. He's in a fucking car. He's in a fucking car with dark tint, and he's already shot at fucking police officers, and he's already continuing to shoot. So yeah, they're probably gonna keep fucking shooting until they know for a goddamn fact that, you know, yep, the threat's eliminated, right? So yeah, of course they're just trying to blow it all out of proportion. They're trying to start another George Floyd. They're trying to get another fucking Summer of Love going and shit, because again, they're completely fucking unoriginal, right? They've lost the fucking spirit. They've lost their soul. They've lost their fucking their corrupt muse. You know, they can't even get creative with their fucking, you know, propaganda and fucking, you know, agitation and shit like that. They just do the same fucking wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, it's really
Bird
kind of
flu
insulting.
instead of COVID. This cat instead of Floyd. It's,
Right.
It's just the same thing over and over.
Really, like I said, really kind of insulting. You know, I think our government has better fucking subversion and propaganda fucking tactics than that. Yeah, but nope, they don't. And so they're trying this again, right? So
It really blows, man. That the left will have you fucking sticking up for the damn police, dude, right? And
Right.
you know, you got to understand. I mean, just think about it from your point of view. If someone pulls out and starts, you know, pulling rounds on you, and you know you're armed as well, obviously you're going to use it. You know what I mean? And they tell you to empty out. If you don't, you weren't in fear for your life, and you're probably going to get some serious charges. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you know, again, these people, you know, yeah, I know that'll be called racisms or whatever, but have, you know, spent decades portraying themselves as gangsters and thugs, and as always, when they're treated as such, even in this case, when someone was trying to do some gangster shit, it's fucking, you know, he's a criminal martyr.
Yep. So I went ahead and I made a fucking a headline that's basically you know, it's a way that we needed to start pushing our propaganda too. You know, I mean, shit, they can't have all the fucking fun, right? Just show them how propaganda is done. Right? Fucking secret police are trying to murder an innocent man from Florida. This poor young man right here, so full of life. Look at him. He's just so ready for the world. So we got young Donald featured to the right with his father on the left, looking so proud on graduation day. And the secret police of the federal government are trying to set this man up, get him murdered. They're trying to destroy his fucking credibility. They're trying to set this guy up and ruin his entire life. Right? That's the way that's what the secret police, what the government police, the fucking brown shirts are doing right now. Right? So I just thought you guys should know that. Right? That's how it'd work if we played the same fucking, you know, fucking clown world games that the left does.
That's good shit.
All right. But yeah, so obviously it doesn't seem like it's working. Yeah, I think, you know, the fact that the video got released pretty quickly, I think I don't remember exact details, but I do remember seeing somewhere that they released the video basically after the outrage started happening. And so basically they thought that the video was going to fucking like basically prove their point. And then people saw the video and then they're like, wait, he shot first. Like,
Right.
You're trying to get us fucking riled up over that? So basically, like I say, it's the George Floyd that wasn't. Right? It's not necessarily working. It's not working out in their favor. All they got is the fucking oh, he was driving his car. Yeah. All they got is, you know, the motherfucking fainting. You know,
I'm sure she's heartbroken though, man. You can't imagine that
course,
shit. Your
yeah.
son gets murdered, even if he is a little shitbag. That's still your kid, and
Yeah.
I'm sure she's absolutely fucking heartbroken. You know what I
Right.
mean? That really sucks, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as she's concerned. But
Yeah,
you know, dude, you
yeah,
live
okay,
by the
that-
sword, you fucking die by the sword, son.
Right. That's the way it goes. Of course. Yeah. I agree. That's a bit insensitive. I definitely couldn't imagine anything like that. Shit. I'll be honest. If anything like that were to happen to my kids, I'd probably fucking go on a rampage or some shit like that. So,
Yeah, and you don't feel for the kid. You know what I mean? You feel for the mama, man.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Even though that was
She
some
tried.
serious dramatics.
Yeah. Yeah. See, they do their best, as long as they're able to fucking bring you up. I guess never mind. The saying usually, as long as you don't end up dead or in prison, they did a pretty good job then. I think, but
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't apply here. Yeah, but all right, one last one before we get on out of here, real quick. And the Vatican finally coming to its senses and blasts transgender affirming surgery and surrogacy as violations of human dignity. So the Vatican issued a 20-page declaration on Monday declaring transgender affirming surgery a grave violation of human dignity. The announcement puts trans surgery on par with abortion. The declaration has been in the works for 5 years and was approved by Pope Francis in late March. So the AP reported the Vatican excuse me. The Vatican on Monday declared gender affirming surgery and surrogacy as grave violations of human dignity, putting them on par with abortion and euthanasia as practices that reject God's plan for human life. The Vatican's Doctrine Office issued Infinite Dignity, a 20-page declaration that has been in the works for 5 years. After substantial revision in recent months, it was approved March 25th by Pope Francis, who ordered its publication. In its most eagerly anticipated section, the Vatican repeated its rejection of gender theory or the idea that one's gender can be changed. It said God created man and woman as biologically different, separate beings, and said people must not tinker with that plan or try to make oneself God. It follows that any
God's
sex
plan.
right, Jesus has a plan, yo. It follows that any sex change intervention, as a rule, risks threatening the unique dignity the person has received from the moment of conception. All right, so there's that conception word right there. The document said it distinguished between gender affirming surgeries, which it rejected, and genital abnormalities that are present at birth and develop later. Or that develop later. These abnormalities can be resolved with the help of healthcare professionals, it said. All right, so that's basically the whole the point that the left always try to point out, like, oh, well, what about intersex people and shit like that? Well, clearly this does not include people with birth abnormalities.
Doesn't include 0.1% of
Right.
the population.
Right. It's the fact that they have to even include that speaks to the ridiculousness of
Right.
the left, of the woke fucking mind virus. But ultimately, finally, like the fucking Catholic Church is basically, kind of been laughing. I mean, they still fucking, all the churches still have to, perform gay marriages and shit like that. So I mean, there's not
You
not
still see them
completely fucking
flying rainbow
vindicated.
flags outside of temples and stuff
Right.
around,
Right, but at least in terms of this clear fucking abomination of humanity, they could finally at least admit that, yeah, no, trying to completely change your entire biological fucking makeup with surgery, yeah, I think that's a probably goes against God's will. At
Yeah,
least
it's pretty crazy to see
5
that
years later.
Mark Monk, right?
Right. Took them 5 fucking years to come out and write a paper. I don't know what the fuck it took them 5 years to discuss. I don't know what was so. I'd like to see the fucking counterpoints that they came up with. I guess but, yeah. I guess 5 years. Better late than never, I suppose. But either way, man, fucking about time. About fucking time. Of course, the lefties are melting down right now. They're probably going to fucking, cut back on a little bit of their gay marriages because of the fact that, the lefties are going to boycott the fucking Catholic Church. Like, you guys don't go to fucking church anyway. Like, but still, you should do it in solidarity with the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, the only thing trying to force people to do gay marriages and stuff is a weaponization tool and free publicity and ways to get frivolous lawsuits happening. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like the counterpoints, I'm sure a lot of them had to do with tithing and attendance is way the fuck down, son. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you see, claiming the God thing go in that direction is becoming like more chic that's the reason you're seeing, other like celebrities coming out talking about God. You're seeing porn stars and OnlyFan whores saying, they renounced the life. Now that they've made millions of dollars, they're fucking turned to Jeebus. And it's you hate to use the word grift because it's fucking played out, and most of the time it's misused. But you know, pretty blatant. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And especially, like I said, the Marxist Mark here, the Marxist monk. This guy's been, a leftist tool the whole time he's been in that position. Basically, he's
Yeah.
gone against, the centuries old word of the church on, repeated fucking events and bowing down to Islam and so on and so forth. But you know, like to see this here. Maybe he's going to step down. Maybe that's why it took 5 years. He's like, I'm about to get out of here. We'll put that out,
Right.
But yeah, you like to see it, man. A little return to normalcy, I guess. And every little bit fucking counts.
Do you think there's going to be uh, some sort of a spiritual resurgence throughout the world?
Yeah, I think that the religion of the state is becoming unattractive to some younger generations, and
Yeah.
even some middle, like later millennials and whatnot, starting to turn away from the shit, realizing that fuck, while it sounds great in theory and shit, I can't pay my bills, dude. You know what I mean? Having a hard time eating out here, son. But
Right. Meanwhile, these motherfuckers are sitting there eating fucking caviar and shit. And look at the peasants,
yeah, and there's always that hunger and that search inside, of all men, basically, for purpose, guidance, what have you, whatever the case may be for each individual personally. But and that's always there, ready to take the place. And if you've been starved for any kind of spirituality because you've had the state as a fucking deity and religion for half your life, I'm sure that's a nice, warm, comforting place to end up.
Right. And that's why, personally, the OnlyFans chick with the red hair, like, I ain't picking on her, if she, truly fucking, went to fucking baptize. I mean, she fucking deleted her OnlyFans and shit, I mean, that's fucking millions
But
of
like the
dollars in
day
revenue.
before the interview where she announced that she turned to God, though, you know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
like that, like within 24 hours. Like,
Right. But I mean, still, still either way, fucking how many of us would be able to fucking, like, oh, well, I'm making millions of dollars in this and that type shit. Delete. All right. Well, I'm going to go turn to Jesus. I mean, again, like I said, only time will tell. Of course, that's the way that it goes with everybody. I mean, but ultimately, I don't. I think the whole, he who's without sin cast the first stone type thing, and really, I think that's what the idea of fucking Christianity is even about. It's about redemption. It's
yeah.
about the fact that we all fucking fall short of the grace of God, and basically that we're all good people and that we're all worthy of redemption. So ultimately, if she sticks to it, fuck yeah. I'm shit proud of her. Fucking that's awesome. That's fucking great. That's a beautiful fucking thing. And so really just the whole, a lot of the people coming out and just instantly like, oh, fucking this and that, fucking casting stones and shit at this woman for basically, even if it is a fucking grift, like shit, at least she's bringing some sort of a awareness toward the ideas of religion and shit, and especially in the industry where God has all but fucking turned his back.
Yeah, I mean, you call it casting stones, but I'll cast those stones. OnlyFans chicks are fucking whores, dude. They're hookers, son. Digital
Yeah.
hookers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. If she turned to God, that's great for her, personally. It doesn't affect me, a single iota. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh yeah.
whatever makes people happy, feel complete, dude. Like I said, even about the abortion issue, if you're gonna pay for that, you can deal with it and live with that. Fuck. You know what I mean? Do it.
Yeah.
That's like I guess, the libertarian part that's always there. That's like, do what you want as long as you're not fucking with anyone else. And I know that people like to say, well, abortion, you are fucking with someone else, yada yada. And that's why I keep repeating the phrase, if you can live with that, it's on you, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's an incredible amount that the human the human spirit can live with. There's no. I think there's a very, very huge. I mean, not to
Time
get all
heals most wounds.
right, right, and not to get all biblical and shit, but fucking, you're never gonna be fucking, have more on your shoulders than you can bear. You know what I mean? Fucking God will never try and make you carry a load that He knows you cannot bear. And so, again, it's just kind of I guess, like I said, the whole thing about redemption and shit like that, that's the main, focus that I've, kind of put point to it. But again, we're seeing a good, at least a move in a positive direction culturally,
Yeah, and even like I said, the whore thing, it doesn't even necessarily make it bad. Again, it's whatever
Right.
fulfills somebody else, and it's you're
Shit,
making money.
there was
Get
whores in the
that money.
Bible.
Right. Get
Right.
that money, man. I mean, dude, if it was a way I could make millions of dollars, I'd probably fucking do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And about as far as like, why would she give that up? I don't know about her, but I know me personally. All I need is a couple million in cash, and you'll never see me again, son. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Really,
Yeah.
I'd be in my self-sustained cabin in fucking the woods in the north, bro.
Right. But I
Living
mean,
it.
clearly you don't, you don't have the mindset where you fucking need to buy fucking $100 outfits and you fucking, get, a couple $100 worth of fucking hair appointments and shit like that on a weekly basis, And so obviously, I mean, she's gonna fucking blow through it. She'll blow through a couple $1 million in a fucking year, So I mean, it's
Right.
yeah, I clearly, I don't think that chick has that mindset to fucking like, you know what, I'm going to take this money and invest it in something and let my money work for me. That way, I don't think she's going to think in that way. It'll be gone within a couple of years. But at the same time, I mean, like, if I were to fucking get paid millions of motherfucking dollars to fucking hang out and smoke fucking weed and drink beers and fucking, go out on stage and make a fool of myself and all that type shit, like a lot of, if I made millions of dollars to do the fucking rock star thing and shit like that, and then, I don't think I'd stop doing that to fucking turn back to Jesus. I don't know. I think it'd be a very difficult thing for a lot of people to fucking do, to basically be like, you know what, I'm making these millions and millions of dollars, but yeah, I am fucking really kind of hurting myself on the inside.
She'll still make plenty of money. Now she'll get followers that are fucking, it's this Jeebus girl, man.
And that's good though. That's good though. Again, like I said, if she's bringing fucking the idea of Jesus and Christianity to the fucking culture that, has been void of it for so long, that's a good thing,
Yeah, I wasn't saying it was bad or good. I was just saying she
Right.
won't be hurting for cash. It's not,
Right.
you know what I mean? She might have to, work a little harder as
She's
far as
definitely
making
not going to be
content.
on.
She can't just spread some lips or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
she'll still make money, man. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, dude,
She'll do the interview circuit, all that shit,
yeah, I was telling my lady that, man, dude. I set her up a fucking dummy fucking, X account with her photo and shit, dude, and put my posts on there. But as she's posting it, I guarantee it'll get 100 times the fucking traffic just because it's a chick, man.
And
You know
and
what I
that
mean?
and that audience that she's reaching by doing that type of shit, as long as she maintains the the path that she's going on, the path of righteousness and shit, her followers will stay. Her followers aren't gonna fucking just, oh, here's $20, fucking cool, let me look at your pictures for a month and then bounce. Like she's gonna build up a long-term following and shit. If again, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be more than willing to think, shit, I'll fucking sit here and watch every fucking day of your, you upload your videos of your transformation, of your, changing the path that you're on and shit like that. And I'm sure if she stays down that path, dude, she'll have a long fucking term, career of just people listening to her stories and shit,
And selling merch, dude. And just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you can't like sell bathwaters and stuff.
Yeah. Holy water. the holiest of holy waters.
Yeah, and that's why, again, I can't be conservative because I wouldn't want them to shut down porns and stuff, even though I'm saying this chick's a whore, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a profession. Like, it's almost not even fucking, a derogatory term at this point, dude, especially as far as the left's concerned. You know what I mean? Hedonistic deviance. And then they're like, you can't say whore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You could only call me a whore when we're closed behind closed doors.
Right. Only when you're choking me.
Right. Or if you put it in a rap song.
These bitches like to get choked.
But anyway, well, we appreciate you guys stopping by. That's about all we got for you tonight. You got anything you want to throw in before we get on out of here?
Fuck no, I'm burnt, man. You guys
Right.
enjoy the weekend. Smell you later.
Oh yeah. Yeah, check out the links in the description. We got merch, we got links to both of our accounts, cross platforms, alt tech, social media, all that good stuff. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. We appreciate you guys hanging out, stopping by for fucking a little over 2.5 fucking hours. That being said, like, subscribe, share, and as always, fuck off.